Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Game of the Week, live right here on Lake TV. I'm William Holtz, joined by the Hall of Famer Mike Bissell, and once again, we're back in Eldon, Missouri at Victor Field for a Tri-County Conference matchup. And Mike, two teams that have so much history.
They do, and California has some very recent history. Of course, struggling this year at 0-7, but just 3 years ago, they were 9-3. And, of course, they had that run in the late 90s where they played in 3 consecutive championship games, winning one of them. Wow.
And, of course, we had them in the Marty Albertson era. You'll remember Jaden Barr and those teams, 3 straight state quarterfinals, losing all 3 years to the eventual state champion. 1 year Oak Grove, and 2 years they lost to Maryville. Great program. But California, different story. They're going to ride a 5-game winning streak into this series tonight. But on the season, 0-7, and it's been a big struggle for California, who's down numbers-wise this year.
It goes in cycles. It just happens, and it's a good program, and they've got a good coaching staff. And the same situation with Eldon. It just goes in cycles, and this group has struggled over the years, and it's been a tough year for them after that good start.
Yeah, and for Eldon at 3-4, they started 3-0, losers of 4 in a row, and so 2 teams that have losing streaks going. And so tonight, right here on Lake TV, something's got to give for one of these 2 teams. And on our COMC pregame show, we'll talk with both teams' head coaches. We'll talk about how both these teams got to this point in the season. That and a whole lot more on tonight's Central Ozarks Medical Center pregame show.
What makes one small Missouri town so special? The community, of course. From our annual community events in an award-winning school district, where Friday night lights are the way of life.
Kick out Hardy, corner 3, up and good. Just cleared the edge of the rim.
To the historic buildings and downtown, along with many unique and iconic local businesses. Of course, the fun and the endless possibilities with close proximity to the Missouri State Capitol and just minutes away from the Lake of the Ozarks. As a village grows into a town, into a city, and into a home.
Junction.
Listen to my story about a man named Jed, a poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude.
The unmatched history, from industrial leaders of yesterday to tomorrow's industrial trailblazers, we have it all. Well, if you live here, you know I'm just describing Eldon, Missouri, aren't I? I'm Matt Kostelnick with the Eldon Chamber of Commerce, welcoming you to Eldon, Missouri, where your neighbor is likely to treat you more like family. Eldon, Missouri, your hometown at the Lake of the Ozarks.
Eldon, Missouri, your gateway to Lake of the Ozarks. And as we welcome you back to Eldon right here on Lake TV, Mike, we're going to start with the California Pintos under the direction of head coach Kenny Grubb. Comes in his 3rd season with the Pintos, and he's actually never lost to Eldon. And so at 2-0, I know he's eager to get off to a hot start tonight. But man, like you said, just a few years ago, this Pintos team really good at 9-3, and since then they've had some numbers issues, and it's kind of been a down couple of years for this program.
And it's not a good time to be down any time when you're playing in the Tri-County Conference, because it's a tough out. Yeah, 0-7, 0-4 in conference play. They're in Class 3, District 4. Right now, if they started the postseason, they'd be playing Moberly in the first round, a team that we saw had a really close win over Osage, and they're number 2 in the district right now. They've been outscored, listen to this number, 265-20 on the season. But as I mentioned a little while ago, as recently as 2 years ago, actually, 9-3 on the season. They were a state champion in 97, beating Country Day 36-19. Second place in 98, lost to Boonville 33-22. And second place in 99, They lost 7-0 to Aurora, the Hound Dogs. And they just blew everybody out up until that point. So you wonder if the weather wasn't bad for the championship game, 7-0. And they put a lot of points on everybody in the postseason.
Yeah, a rich history. And for them, we tell you they're down. And you look at the roster, Mike, a lot of underclassmen, and the numbers don't really stand out at you. It's a team that scored only, as you said, 20 points so far this season. They've been shut out 4 times, and they've yet to hit double digits in scoring. That's very unprecedented here at any level, especially the high school level. And so in talking with Coach Grubb, you say, hey, what can we talk about positive about the program? And he's like, well, we've grown. We're sticking to the game plan. But you wonder, Mike, in a situation like this, like how does a head coach stay positive?
You have to. I mean, you just have to, because if the head coach, it'll work its way down through his assistants, and the players will sense it. And hey, let's just get this thing over with. No, you've got to keep thinking that every little bit, even the diversity that you go through, the adversity that you go through, you're learning something from it and building for the future. And I got to tell you, I'm looking through the roster here, and as if I don't feel old enough when I get out of bed in the morning, I broadcast. There's a player on the California roster named Dunaway. I broadcast his dad's games. He had a ridiculously long punt one night. And I went to school with his grandfather.
Well, that is what happens as we age, Mike, and you're dating yourself just a little bit, but
a little bit.
Calling high school sports here in the Lake area for the better part of 40-plus years, right?
Closer to 50. This is my 48th.
I was trying to keep it in the 40s till we
I don't care. I'm
hit
here.
50.
I'm here. I'm alive. You know, that's.
And you're
what more can you ask for?
rocking it. And man, I tell you, you've seen some great California teams. You talked about those '90s teams. Of course, you remember, like I said, under Marty Albertson, how good they can be. And so you look at that town, right? They've had good years, and when they have down years, I mean 3, 4, 5 wins. That's really a down year for the California Pintos. And so for them, this is uncharted territory. But I love their head coach, Kenny Grubb, and I got an opportunity to talk with him just a little bit ago. Here with California head coach Kenny Grubb. Coach, 2 weeks left in this season. What's your guys' agenda these last 2 weeks?
Well, we've got to find a way to get a win, go into districts with, with some positive things going on in our program.
All right, so you talk about you guys 0-7 on this season, but that doesn't always tell the whole story. Talk about some of the positives you've seen since week 1 to this point.
Definite growth every week, I think, is the big thing. And then I think that also these guys play so dadgum hard. It's almost, everybody wants to win, but it's a lot of pressure on me because they deserve to win the way they play.
Talk about where you guys are at. California Pintos, such a rich tradition, such a great town as far as high school football, and even in 0-7, still get a ton of great support behind these guys.
We do get a great support out of our community, and we talk about the tradition all the time. We don't want to let that tradition down. We want to be guys who uphold that tradition and carry it on for the next generation as well.
When you look at your opponent, the Eldon Mustangs, this team maybe not as familiar, but historically played them a lot. What do you guys got to do to get a win tonight against this Mustangs team?
I think offensively we've got to be consistent. We've got to be able to run the ball consistently. Can't get behind the chains. Defensively, a lot of speed to contend with on this, on this team, and so we've got to make sure that we kind of keep that bottled up and that we just fit our run fits really well and don't let things over our heads.
All right, biggest factor for your team tonight, whether you win or lose, what's the one thing would be a huge victory for the California Pintos if you can execute?
That's it right there, is we've got to execute play after play after play. Our biggest problem has been consistency, and we talk about it all the time. So if we can remain consistent, win or lose, then that's another step in the right direction.
And I understand back home in California, you got some big fans of yours watching.
Yeah, my parents are in their 80s. They come to all our home games. This is the first year that they have missed games since 2011. I've been coaching in Missouri again, and they've missed 3 games before this year. And so just a huge thank you to them for supporting me.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Thanks for watching on Lake TV. That's California head coach Kenny Grubb. Coach, good luck tonight.
Appreciate you. Thanks.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Life truly is all about memories, but more importantly, those we create those memories with. And at Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes, our staff focuses on the families we serve.
Maybe you wouldn't necessarily know where to start. Josh showed up from the beginning to the end. He did amazing. I would absolutely recommend him to everybody I know.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve.
While it might look like I'm over here lounging, I promise I am not. We've been busy over here getting ready for this month's edition of the Monthly Market Update. I'm Jessica Bruce with the Bruce & Kelly Real Estate Team. We'll be touring a stunning luxury home here in Portachima. I'll have my good friend Will Holtz with Lake TV joining me, talking about buyers, sellers, and a little bit of tips and tricks from Mortgage Headquarters, MHQ. Fastest closings in town. Don't forget to tune in. We'll see you then.
Back on your Central Ozarks Medical Center pregame show, and we're live here in Eldon, Missouri for Eldon Mustangs football. They play host to the California Pintos, and we told you California 0-7. And I look, Colby Less, their junior quarterback, he only completes about a third of his passes, no touchdown passes, so I know they don't get to pass a lot, and they're going to try to get it on the ground to Max Dunaway. He's only a sophomore, but he's really the heart and soul of their offense. Leads them in rushing. He's got 2 touchdowns, which leads the team, obviously. They've only had 3 this year. And so when I look at their lineup, a couple of guys that stand out. One, Jackson Hensley. He's the leading receiver, 12 catches, but defensively, 3 picks. And so that's a kid we're going to keep an eye on, number 19, Jackson Hensley. And then also leading him in sacks, Seth Oliver. 3 sacks and 5.5 tackles for a loss. Those are 2 players for California we'll keep an eye on. As for the hometown, Eldon Mustangs, once again, Mike, they start 3-0, and everybody at Eldon, and we've been here before, and since that point, totally different story for the Eldon Mustangs.
Yeah, they start out 3-0 with wins over Fulton, a 1-point win. Fulton's 1-6. They beat Versailles 62-0, 0-7. Owensville, they won 13-8. Owensville's 0-7. So the 3 games that Eldon won, the teams they defeated are combined 1-20. And then you get into the Tri-County Conference, the teams that played, their non-conference record is 10-9. That's a little bit deceiving. Obviously, California is 0-3. But Southern Boone County is also 0-3, but they played 3 really good teams and played them close. So that 10-9 is a little deceptive, but that's better than 1-20 as well.
Yeah, when you look at that light schedule early for Eldon, and then you get in the heart of conference and district play, especially when you're the Tri-County Conference, Osage, Blair Oaks, Southern Boone, historically been a great program. And so it gets harder, and we've seen that from Eldon. And so losers of 4 in a row. Tonight's game, an opportunity to get back to 500, 1 regular season game left after this week. How big is tonight's game for the Eldon Mustangs?
I think it's huge. I think it will lock down, it might very well lock down a home field game for them. I don't know. Hallsville's right behind them. It's a 4 or 5 right now. They would play, and Hallsville can't appeal since they beat Eldon head-to-head during the regular season. They can appeal to jump over them. There's a lot to that I'm not sure I completely understand. But they get that win just to give something positive for you. And they finish with Booneville next week. And I did talk to Coach Griffin. Nick Griffin, what a great name for a football coach, by the way. I did talk to him, and we talked about the running back. And I said, well, we had them last week, and he can play. And he goes, yeah, I couldn't have waited a couple more weeks. But that's going to be a tough one for Eldon. But getting this win tonight, it just makes you feel so much better about what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think a win for the Mustangs would actually guarantee a home playoff game because the 7 teams in district, Hallsville has Blair Oaks tonight. Yeah. And so that's going to be a tough one, and that would put Eldon, even though they have lost to Hallsville, they'd have a 2-game lead in the standings. And so even if Hallsville jumped them, that would mark them down to the 4th spot, they'd still have an opportunity. So a lot to still shake out. But I think for the Eldon Mustangs, a win tonight, that would guarantee them, hey, we get to play at home in playoffs. And, man, you talk about that light schedule for Eldon. If we had a selection committee, right, and there was a bubble watch, I don't know how confident I'd feel for the Eldon Mustangs getting in the dance. And luckily for all of these teams at the high school level, everybody gets in the dance.
Yeah, it changed many times over the years, but, you just wipe the slate clean and start over again when you get to postseason time. Eldon this year has been outscored 162 to 225. I got to looking into their stats a little bit more, and one thing that really jumped off the page at me was that Eldon's only been outgained by 154 yards from scrimmage, 2156 to 2002. So you take that 154 yards difference, divide that by 7 games, that's only 22 yards a game. So I'm thinking, okay, so I'm missing something here. Now, on the stat sheets, they don't really give us the number of penalties, but you'd have to assume that Eldon's committed more penalties. But the one thing I could find on the stat sheet, and again, it jumped off the page at me, Eldon's -9 in turnovers, 17 to 8. That's a big difference. That's more than one more turnover a game. And right there's your 7 points a game.
Sure, no doubt. That's a great fact, too. You look at those things that really change the course of a season. And for Eldon, you're like, hey, you hold on to a few of those possessions. It might be 4-3, maybe 5-2. And so for them, they're obviously aware of how the last 4 games have gone, and they know how big tonight is. And I even kind of sensed that when I talked with head coach Nick Griffin just a little bit ago. Now I got Eldon head coach Nick Griffin. Coach, you get to be home as you round out the regular season here these last couple of weeks. What's your guys' focus here?
We just got to focus on ourselves. We got to take care of the football, limit big plays, and, just play our football.
I know for you guys, especially the high school level, you guys always want to be playing your best towards the end of the year. So how crucial is it here in Week 8 for the Mustangs to get a W and get back to 500?
Oh, it's massively important. I think we've had our best week of practice up this year so far this week. So the kids are focused, they're ready to go, but it's big to be playing your best going into the end of the year.
All right, so when you look at the California Pintos, they're down this year, 0-7. They've only scored 20 points this year. How do you get your team not to get sucked into that and maybe let this be a trap game?
Yeah, well, Eldon, we got to earn a little bit of respect on our name. We haven't been hot in our conference the last 3 or 4 years. California's beaten us the last 5 years in a row, so they're going to come in with confidence. So it's not going to be a lay-down game or an easy game. They're going to come out swinging. We're 20 miles from each other. It's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, good rivalry here at Tri-County Conference. I want to talk to you, Coach, about your junior quarterback, Drew Hines, and what you've seen in the maturation process so far from him this year.
Yeah, he's really come a long way. From the beginning of the year to now, just massive improvements, and he still has a high ceiling. There's still a lot more growth for him there. So I'm very happy and pleased with how he's been playing up to this point.
Coach, I know a lot of the schools you play are close, but is there anywhere you'd rather be playing on Friday nights than right here at Victor Field?
Oh no, this is where we want to be, right here. Every week would be ideal, but we're glad to be back in front of our home crowd tonight.
All right, I'll end with this, Coach. I know you always have a couple of keys and factors coming into each game based on your opponent. So for tonight, for the Eldon Mustangs, what are those key factors?
We gotta take care of the football. We've shot ourselves in the foot the last few weeks with turnovers, so we gotta take care of the ball, and then defensively, we just gotta limit big plays.
All right, that's Eldon head coach Nick Griffin. Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Lake life starts here. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we know that buying or selling a lakefront property is more than just a transaction. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter that we strive to make easy, from listing to closing. In a competitive market, we showcase your property to the masses online with lakeexpo.com, returning unmatched visibility. And if you're ready to buy that lake house, our team lives and breathes the lake lifestyle, so we know what this chapter is all about. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we believe in community, cherishing those lasting memories, and helping make your lake dream a reality. Check us out online to find lake properties. No logins, no distractions, just pure, unfiltered lake views and options. Lake Expo Real Estate, where we are ready to be a part of your next chapter.
It's the Lake Expo app, the lake's trusted news source, the boating lifestyle, the hottest lakefront real estate, where to go, what to see, and what to do at the lake. It's the Lake Expo app. Download it today.
Eldon marching Mustangs with tonight's national anthem. And so as we welcome you back to our COMC pregame show, just in time to enjoy that national anthem. But on the other side, we heard from Nick Griffin, Eldon head coach, and you can sense how important this is. And one thing I love to get to ask him was about Drew Hines. Like, man, this kid came in early, and we saw it against the game in Osage, you know, just how good he's become, and he really is the heart and soul. I look at his numbers, 8 passing touchdowns. He's their leading rusher. He's got 500-plus yards with 5 touchdowns. He averages almost 6 yards a carry. The one number that stands out to you is the 7 interceptions, and some of those, Mike, have just been late in games. He has no choice on a 4th and long. What I love about him is his ability to still give his receiver a shot, but as a junior down the stretch, those are decisions we look to see him maybe change, and we saw that in Osage, Maverick Trusty, right, these last couple of years. And so it'll be interesting to watch Drew Hines tonight because we know he can run. He's a great runner. I almost kind of funny, but looks like a gazelle out there running, you know, from sideline to sideline. But we also see, man, he has got a cannon for an arm, and that can be a huge weapon.
It can be. And again, with both these teams, you can say this equally for both these teams. Getting off to a good start is so important because if you're 0-7 or if you've lost 4 games in a row as these two teams are sitting at right now, if something goes wrong right off the bat, you go, oh no, here we go again, you know, and just kind of lay down. So getting off to a positive start, playing a clean first quarter, that's huge for both these clubs.
Yeah, and also important is, man, that early game start. Let's say that you're not on the side where it goes well. You also can't fold and let that be kind of the foreshadowing of the way the whole game will go because it's a lot mental, especially at this high school level. And for California, you know, at 0-7, you want to fight. And an early start for them, that might be all they need, especially when the opponent knows you're 0-7. They know you've only scored 20 points. And so you heard Coach Griffin say, yeah, we were really key on focusing this week, and he felt like they had their best week of practice all season long, and I'd say it comes at a great time.
Do you think that the kids are more focused because they know that this is a game that they've got a very good chance of winning? Does that go hand in hand, do you think?
Yeah, I would think, and it also comes with, like, after that 3-0 start, it's hard not to walk around campus. It's like, man, we're 3-0, the talk of the town, Friday night is about us. Well, you get humbled, 4 losses in a row, and so for them, it's like, man, we got a taste of what it was like to be the talk of the town, and now maybe we're the talk of the town for the wrong reason, and so they're hyper-focused on getting back to 500, and it starts, like you said, with protecting the football for the Eldon Mustangs. And so in tonight's game, it'll be interesting to see how this early going goes. Of course, just about 8 minutes away from kickoff. We'll take a short commercial break, and when we return, we'll conclude tonight's Central Ozarks Medical Center pregame show.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're starting our mega sale this week, and we've got great deals in the mattress area. Tempur-Pedics, Purple, Stearns & Foster, all on sale. You need to come get a great night's sleep and check out the wonderful deals at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Competing on the field requires hard work. It also requires effort and making good choices, which carries over off the field, like good choices behind the wheel of your car. Did you know that a driver is 20 times more likely to be in a serious accident if texting and driving?
Last year alone, 104 people were killed in Missouri from distracted driving.
So keep leading the statistics. Don't become one.
Buckle up, phones down. This Drive Safe, Boat Safe reminder brought to you by Price & Randall Injury Attorneys.
We welcome you back here to Lake TV's coverage of live high school football. Hard to believe, Mike. It's week 8 already, and before long, we'll have high school basketball.
Not long, and I'm looking forward to 2 dates in particular, December 5th and 6th at Mizzou Arena in Columbia. It's going to be the Norm Stewart Classic. It's the 3rd year in a row I'll get a chance to work up there. I'll get to do a few games. In particular, I'm pretty sure I'll get to broadcast the Eldon Centralia game from there. But what a field. What a field they've got. They've got Jason Crow Jr., Tony Bryant, and Aiden Chronister, who have already signed for Mizzou for the 26-27 season, I should say. from Englewood High School in Los Angeles, California, Zephyr Hills Academy, Christian Academy in Tampa, Florida, and New School in Fayetteville, Arkansas. These 3 kids will be playing at that Classic on Friday and Saturday, and there are some other teams that are just absolutely loaded. Principia will play both days. They won Class 6 last year. They've got 5 starters who have already signed for Division I schools.
Wow, yeah, that'll be quite the couple of days of basketball as we direct our attention now to midfield for our coin toss.
All right, gentlemen, good sportsmanship out here tonight. Watch hits away from the ball when the ball's not in your area. When the ball's not in your area, stop blocking. Listen to us as officials. We'll always try to help you. When we're talking to you, trying to prevent flags, so listen to those warnings, okay? The last thing is don't lead with your head in anything you do out here. Get your hands in front of you. Leading with your head's always going to cause a problem. Coaches, anytime we have a penalty, I'll get with you on the sideline. Any questions at all? Okay, coaches, you're dismissed. Good luck tonight. California visitor today. I've got heads, I've got tails. I got heads, I got tails. What's your call? Tails. Tails, he said?
Tails, yep.
If I drop it, will we flip it? It is a head. You won the toss.
We defer.
Eldon wins the toss. They're going to defer.
So it looks like the Mustangs win the toss and elect to defer. So we'll conclude our Central Ozarks Medical Center pregame show. We'll take a short commercial break, and on the other side, tonight's game of the week with the Eldon Mustangs kicking off to the California Pintos.
At New Spring Wellness Center, we understand how hectic life can be and the stress that comes with it. We also understand that your health often gets forgotten about. Whether it's addiction, weight loss, or lack of energy, New Spring Wellness Center offers natural services you won't find other places. From our vitamin IV drips to our laser hair removal and everything else. Naturally better health is our focus at New Spring Wellness Center in Osage Beach. Call now to schedule your free consultation.
High school football time as we conclude our Central Ozarks Medical Center pregame show live right here on Lake TV. I'm William Holtz, joined by the Hall of Famer Mike Bissell from Victor Field. And Eldon wins the toss. They defer, and so they'll kick off to the California Pintos, and we're officially ready for high school football.
And we do have a beautiful night. I mean, just no other way to describe it. A little breeze coming out of the south, so Eldon will have the ball going right to left here with the wind at their back in the first quarter.
Yeah, I always love being here in Eldon. Great setup here in our press box, of course, and we are underway. And not a good start for the Mustangs. One thing we talked about, turnovers, that's another one they'll have to work on. So the kickoff out of bounds, and California has it 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
And I'm not really know for sure how to score this as the penalty. I'll just mark it down as a five-yarder, and you would like to be able to make a play on the opening kickoff, kind of get the adrenaline flowing a little bit with some contact. Eldon's had a bit of a struggle here recently, losing to Blair Oaks last week. And Blair Oaks 7-0 and lost 76-7. Eldon hung with Southern Boone for a while. 34-20 was that final score.
So out of the shotgun is Ben Altoff, actually the senior, and he's going to give it to Dunaway on first down. He's pushed outside, tries to get the edge, and does. Really nice run by Dunaway. Only goes for 2, but big loss was written all over the start of that play. So Dunaway out. We'll keep an eye on that. That is the senior, Benton Altoff, in there, Mike, at the quarterback position.
What a job by Dunaway. He was hand fighting with the defender on that side all the way to the sideline. That easily could have been a 4 or 5 yard loss. And he was able to get something positive out of. Yeah, I've got Altoff for 43 for 88 with 1 touchdown pass this year. So apparently they've been
That's his rushing total I had him for.
Okay.
I do know that Altoff, a big name, and here he goes trying to get outside, and he will, still on his feet. Altoff across midfield for a Beck Wellness Center first down to the 46, and Benton Altoff, a nice run. Good yardage up to the 46-yard line.
Pardon me earlier, he's 8 of 27 for 69 yards passing. I was looking at the wrong line on my stat sheet. 17 yards there. That's certainly a very positive play for California. What good running Eldon just couldn't make the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Good containment blocks by the wide receiver.
And a promising start here for Kenny Grubb and the California Pintos. Altoff to Dunaway on the quick hitter. He's got a big gain across the 35, inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line. We'll give him 19 yards and a Beck Wellness Center first down.
Well, that was impressive. Big hole in the center of the line. Great job as that was opened up by the center and guard combination on the right side. Dunaway listed at 5'5", so he can get lost in traffic a little bit, but he's been impressive on his 2 runs, actually listed at 5'4".
Yeah, not real big, only a sophomore, but love the way he's running on this opening series. It's a handoff. That one is stuffed after a couple yards gain. Preston Flora, the senior, nice gainer on first down. We'll give him 5.
Yeah, he just kept working sidestep move, very patient, waiting for the blocks to develop. And this is probably one of the most positive opening drives of the season for California. They moved it back a little bit, probably say 4 yards on the game.
Berenson in on the stop for the Mustangs, yeah, and actually give him 4. So 2nd down and 6 now. And as you said, one of the better, if not the best, starting drives of the season. Nice gain on 2nd down. Another Beck Wellness Center first down. That's Evan Turner, the junior, who has it down to the 14-yard line. It's a 9-yard Beck Wellness Center first down in California. First to visit the Price and Randall Injury Attorneys Red Zone.
Just some really kind of misdirection in the backfield, little crossing action with the running backs. And very successful here as this drive has started at the 35-yard line. It's taken up almost 3 minutes exclusively on the ground.
Yeah, impressive opening drive to say the least. First down and 10, balls the 13-yard line. Inside the 5 is Turner, and he is all the way down to the 2-yard line. He's got a Beck Wellness Center first down, and 11 yards will bring up 1st and goal from the 3-yard line.
It's the same thing. It's just some crossing in the backfield between the backs, and then the quick opener was there. A little hard to pick up Eldon's numbers with those black uniforms. That was Christopher Johnson saving the touchdown with that tackle.
So 1st and goal. Turner is stuffed. Good play defensively for the Mustangs. I believe that was 72. Isaiah Abbott, the junior.
That's the first positive play on defense for Eldon here in this opening drive, and actually a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, backs him up inside the 4, so 2nd down and goal from that spot. We go to here, a little play action.
You know, I thought maybe on first down they would do that, but I think the way they've been running the ball, they're going to stick with it.
The give inside the 5 to the house for the score. Touchdown, starting it off for the California Pintos. Preston Flora with the score. And that is an impressive opening drive for Coach Kenny Grubb and the California Pintos.
Yeah, they look sharp. A little bit of a delay, deep handoff, and Grubb just was able to stretch it out at the end there. Good effort by Draven Burris, a freshman, if I saw that number correctly, but couldn't get him on the ground.
Looked like Preston Flora, the senior. Here's the hold. The kick is up, and it is
wide right. Oh, good.
Good. Just snuck in to the left upright. So with 8:07 left in the first quarter, it's the Pintos who strike first on a 4-yard run from number 5, Preston Flora. So a great start for the California Pintos on Lake TV's Game of the Week from Eldon. California eats 3 minutes and 53 seconds off the clock, exclusively running the football. And here's the kickoff, fielded at the 21-yard line. Solid return and still on his feet. That's number 2, Bryce Berenson, and he'll be stopped at about the 37-yard line, and that's where Eldon's first series will begin tonight.
And they have to make an answer here. You cannot let this game get away from you early. Wow, I mean, they have to be a little bit surprised by this. Again, this is week 8, and California has scored 20 points on the season.
Well, 27
now, but through 7 weeks.
Sure. So 1st and 10, it's at the 38-yard line. Drew Hines takes the snap. First down give. Here's DeLong, and look out. Drayton DeLong on the first play from scrimmage from 62 yards out to the house. And the Mustangs needed an answer, and they get it from 62 yards. It is Drayton DeLong, and Mike, for him, that is his fourth rushing touchdown, his 7th overall. 7:47, first play from scrimmage. Bye-bye.
And he just pulled away from everybody as he went down the field. Don't look back, son. Nobody's gaining on you. And an opportunity here with the extra point to tie this thing up. I don't know what I had in the way of expectations for this game, but shootout probably wasn't one of them.
Hayden Dugan in to attempt the extra point. It's up and it's true. So a 7:48. We are tied 7 apiece.
Tailgate season is here. Get ready for the fun at Husker GMC. We have the best prices on Sierra trucks, perfect for every adventure. Right now, buy a new Sierra 1500 Elevation and save over $9,000 off MSRP. There's a reason why so many customers choose Husker GMC. Shop and save on Sierra 1500, 2500, and 3500 at your GMC truck headquarters. Shop now at huskergmc.com or visit our showroom in Lincoln. We are professional grade.
As we welcome you back, Mike, you had just said Eldon needs an answer, so this game doesn't get away from them, and took them one play, 62 yards, and DeLong shows you that breakaway speed.
And James Phillips, the center, key block, and good patience at the outset, but then just turn it on.
Here's the kick
Can't
again.
kick it out of bounds, man.
Dugan, that's the 2nd consecutive time, and I don't think that's what the doctor ordered for the Eldon Mustangs. But California once again starts 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
You know, kids at the high school level make mistakes, but I was watching one of the baseball games last night. Team's down by 3, guy on first base, and he gets picked off with a home run hitter up. Another guy gets thrown out at third base, the 3rd out of the inning. So there's a lot going on even at the professional level. In the high school, this isn't their full-time job. But, you know, some mistakes you got to square up as quickly as possible.
Sure. So from the 35-yard line, get another look here. Dunaway bottled up in the backfield for a loss. Flora, first man there. Sorry, that's Keon Dinwiddie, rather. First man there. Berenson also in on the stop for Eldon. So after a loss, going to bring up 2nd down and long for California. That was an exciting start, right? But now you're in jeopardy of back behind the sticks. You can't give it right back to the Mustangs. And if Eldon knows you're going to run every play, it limits what you can do offensively. And so for California, we'll see if they don't elect to throw it a time or two. Benton Althoff, we know he's done that this season. 2nd down carry, and it's a good one. It's a Beck Wellness Center first down. Still on his feet is Flora, all the way up. Preston Flora, the senior, up to the 48-yard line. That's an 18-yard run, and that's a Beck Wellness Center first down.
Yeah, that's impressive. Just a quick opener up the middle. They've got the other running back kind of drawing people away from the center of the field, and Flora just kept it going. That was impressive. Finally finished off there by Chase Atkinson.
So into Eldon territory once again are the California Pintos. They go right back to Flora. They're on to something here with their running attack. That's 6 yards on first down up to the 42.
That's impressive. Just really just the dive type series of plays that have worked so well for California here. And something you said earlier, you know, you're going to be able to hit a play action off that eventually. I mean, they've run the ball. I've got 4, 8, 11 times now, and most of all of them have been successful.
Yeah, both Dunaway and Flora in the backfield with Althoff. That was a risky handoff. Still good for a first down on the run this time. It's Evan Turner is Beck Wellness Center first down to the 37-yard line.
Well, you're getting a good distribution here from 4 different running backs, if you want to count Althoff as a running back. And again, starting with a short field certainly helps out as well, but inside Eldon territory now on their own.
Yeah, at the 37-yard line, first down and 10, inside 6 minutes to play. 7-7 your score here from Victor Field. Flora gets the carry once again, and he's got a good gain on first down to the 31. We'll give him 6 yards, going to bring up second down and 4. Max Dunaway on the carry.
Number 2, Bryce
Berenson with the tackle there. Again, just the dive series, getting a play from the sideline. California's been very crisp, very well disciplined. There hadn't been any penalties at all for them. Fairly impressed with what I've seen here for an 0-17.
Yeah, impressive game plan here in the early going. This is Turner. Looks like he was close to first down yardage. I think he's just shy, going to bring up a third down and short for Dunaway.
I think it was actually Dunaway with a run there. But again, the same type play, that go left, they go right, but it's just the quick dive. It's the inside zone read where you just kind of try to pick a spot. And right now, the offensive line for California is winning. And you have to figure this is 4-down territory.
The first third down of the game so far. Third down and 2, balls the 29-yard line, just inside the 29.
They're going to go right here.
Dunaway, first down yardage, just shy of the 25-yard line. We'll give him 3 yards and a Beck Wellness Center first down, and another fresh set of downs here for California.
Well, you look at it, we're at the 4-minute mark of the first quarter of play, so the time of possession is about 7 minutes and 50 seconds for California and 10 seconds for Eldon as they went one play and 62 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, a methodical drive, and they're telling you exactly what's coming, and the front is just getting a great push. Here's Althoff bottled up, and a couple of times we've seen near disaster for California.
Yeah, they're pulled the offside tackle there. Althoff a little shaken up. Looks like he's trying to work out a calf a little bit. Watch him pull the right side tackle, which is unusual. A bit of a ceiling block there, but played well by Eldon. Good help there by Isaiah Abbott.
Abbott's second tackle here in the first quarter so far. For Eldon, their leading tackler is Berenson, Bryce Berenson. He leads the team, and he also has 2 sacks. Second down and 8. Quick hitter into the flat, just high. He was looking for leading receiver, and that's Jackson Hensley, the senior, who comes in with 12 catches. And again, defensively, Hensley's got 3 picks. Couldn't hold on to that one. A little high and hot.
Yeah, but a good play. You had to kind of see that coming eventually. A little bit behind him too. Coverage out there by Drayden DeLong.
So third down and 8 now.
With a success running. I'm a little surprised that they tried to throw the ball there on second long.
They were hoping so were the Mustangs, and just could not connect. Here's third down. They're going to, no, it's going to be Althoff. Going to keep it still on his feet. He got the first down inside the 15. They'll mark him at the 14. It's a 10-yard Beck Wellness Center first down, and the Pintos back inside the Price and Randall Injury Attorneys red zone here.
Boy, just good ball handling here and a good ball fake, and then carrying it out. As he swept to the right side was Flora.
And just great extra effort there by Althoff. He was actually going down at about the 8-yard line and lunged forward to get that extra yardage. He was actually down at about the 18 and lunged forward. So first down and 10. Flora gets the carry and runs into a wall. So second down upcoming, and we're already at the 2-minute mark of this first quarter.
And on the tackle there, Chase Atkinson again. Again, just 2 yards on that particular play. So Eldon's 2 series in a row here have stopped it on first down pretty well, but haven't been able to finish it off defensively. And give credit to California. Good block a little while ago by Jackson Scrivener on that last play.
2nd and 8 from the 12. Quick handoff to Flora. Tries to keep those legs moving and taken down. Combined tackle for Chase Atkinson and Keon Dinwiddie for Eldon. Going to bring up 3rd down. And so far, California 2 for 2 on 3rd down, both on this drive.
Yeah, still, decent gain. And you have to look at this as 4-down territory. I'm not really sure how their long-range kicking is, but I don't think it's something you'd want to depend on. Wow, this has been impressive for California. Split out wide left is Bowden Wasser.
3rd down and 6, and the hard count gets the Mustangs.
Wow.
That'll make it 3rd down and 1 on the free 5 yards. That'll move it to the 6-yard line.
That's the first penalty of any type other than the 2 kickoff illegal procedures, kicking the ball out of bounds on the kickoff.
So that actually moves it inside the 5 for 3rd, about a half yard.
Wow.
Inside. A minute to play here in the opening quarter. Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 1. Althoff takes the snap. Going to call his own number inside the 5, and he is stuffed. He has a Beck Wellness Center 1st down, and he sets up the Pintos 1st down and goal from the 1.
Yeah, DeLong, a good tackle there, but boy, he needed just a couple of yards, and we got players shaken up as well, too.
So as we get another look at the quarterback read option as Althoff kept it.
Yeah,
so
the pile got pushed back on DeLong there. I'm not sure if he's the one shaken up or not.
So we'll take a commercial break. We'll be back on Lake TV's Game of the Week after this.
At Beck Wellness, we always say that if you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. Our goal is to make sure you're ready to enjoy all the lake has to offer, and more importantly, that you don't miss out on the moments that matter the most. From neuropathy, problems with your feet, hip, or back pain, and even a spinal tune-up. I'll make sure you're set to enjoy the moments that matter the most. I'm Dr. Mark Beck, inviting you to stop by for a consultation. But for now, back to this live high school game of the week on Lake TV.
The best year-round dining at Lake of the Ozarks is Tucker Shuckers Oyster and Tap. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Enjoy our award-winning menu, including our signature oysters. And we serve food until 11, so stop by tonight after the Mustangs game. Tucker Shuckers on the historic Bagnell Dam Strip. Proud sponsor of Mustangs football on Lake TV.
Yeah, and we welcome you back, Mike. That is DeLong, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. Drayden DeLong, the leading running back here for the Mustangs, and he has 1 touch for 62 yards in the first quarter, and that doesn't look good. So we'll keep you guys posted if we know anything. But for California, Mike, 1st down and goal from the 2. They're looking at regaining their touchdown lead. Not many times at all this year,
No.
actually at all they've said that.
Oh, now we've got maybe an illegal procedure or delayed.
No, it's an offsides against the defense, so they'll move it half the distance to the goal.
Which isn't going to be a whole lot. Got a score here for you. School of the Osage Southern Boone tonight. And Osage scores first with 1:52 left in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Osage.
That's a big one for the Indians. If they can win tonight, they would seal the number 1 seed and guarantee them a week off in week 10. Althoff takes the snap up the middle into the end zone for the score. That's Althoff's 2nd of the season, and California regains the lead on the legs of Benton Althoff, the senior quarterback. You get a look at the California fans on your Ozark Homes fan cam, and with 19 seconds left, California, for the first time this season, has hit double digits, Mike. They're an extra point away from going up 7 over Eldon here at Victor Field.
Colby Less, the holder.
The extra point is up, and it is good. So with 19 seconds left, California back out in front over Eldon by the score 14-7.
It all started in Missouri.
These hills have heard our language.
This identity is more than just a history lesson.
We are a nation that stands very strong because of the people that came before us.
We're Wajaji, and the Wajajis come from Missouri.
It's the Lake Expo app, the lake's trusted news source, the boating lifestyle, the hottest lakefront real estate, where to go, what to see, and what to do at the lake. It's the Lake Expo app. Download it today.
Back here on Lake TV in our first quarter, there's 19 seconds left, and California out in front 14-7 as they kick it away. That one's fielded at about the 25-yard line, trying to find some room as Barron's in, and he's going to go the wrong direction and be stopped there and then take a late hit. But that was really on the officials. They waited a minute to blow the whistle. So Barron's in on the return, and Eldon will have it for their second series. Just one play last time. It was Drayton DeLong who is on the table down here being looked at. So for Eldon, they're going to have to look elsewhere for offensive production at this point.
That 62-yarder put DeLong over 500 yards for the season.
Yeah, he's been good this year, and the 1-2 punch of him and Drew Hines with their legs have been tough to defend at times, and that's a big blow if he can't get back in here for Eldon. Quick hitter into the flat, and that is incomplete. Nothing doing on that play is Colin Brisbane. Brisbane, rather, couldn't bring it in. Going to bring up second down and 10 as Eldon tried a simple, short, quick hitter, and not on the same page. So second down and 10, and so far California has been the more focused, sharp team in the early going.
Yeah, Brisbane just peeked to see where the pursuit was coming from there and just didn't secure the catch. Catch the ball first and worry about the other stuff next.
So 6 seconds left here in the first quarter. Presumably the final play of this first quarter. And here's the handoff to that's Brisbane. He gets out and good pursuit defensively. Just a 2-yard gain, going to bring up third down and 8. Eldon having a hard time getting going here to start this second possession.
And he got out of bounds with 0.7 of a second left in the first quarter. Calais leading 14-7, so Eldon will get one more play here to wrap up this first quarter.
Third down and 8. California perfect 3 for 3 here in this first quarter on third down. Of course, Eldon, this will be their first attempt. Hines out of the shotgun, trying the up and under. Going to try a little screen. Has his man. It's going to be Beck Wellness first down yardage and then some for Cody Brown, the senior. They're going to mark him all the way up to the 49-yard line for a Beck Wellness Center first down.
About 21 yards. That's a good way to finish off the quarter and keep the drive alive.
That concludes our first quarter of play from Victor Field, where the California Pintos lead Eldon by a score 14-7.
So what are you in for? I had a few beers and I decided to drive. You? I stopped at a green light. I was high.
Dude, you can't be drunk or high while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Even just slightly buzzed or high decreases your reaction time by at least 50%.
What?
It does.
Well, what did you guys do?
Us, we robbed the house.
Be a good guy. Don't drive drunk or high.
It's time for a new home, and your solution is Ozark Homes under the water tower in Laurie. Your home is and should be your safe place. At Ozark Homes, we take your dream and make it a reality while staying within your budget. With real estate and construction prices at an all-time high, let Ozark Homes stretch your dollar. We have many customizable options, including kitchens, bathrooms, fireplaces. We even offer a second level option. Quotes are always free, so give us a call or stop by today. Ozark Homes, making homeowners' dreams a reality for over 30 years.
I welcome you back here on Pink Night at Victor Field, where you get a look at the Eldon student section on an Ozark Homes fan cam. And Mike, you were saying on that final play, you thought there might have been a penalty that Eldon got away with. They go back to the air and incomplete as he was looking for Brown once again. But on that big gainer on the other side of the break to conclude the first quarter, what'd you see?
I saw a lineman downfield. Now, you can have a lineman downfield if the pass is below the line, behind the line of scrimmage. And here it is again. Yeah, that lineman's downfield.
It looks like a couple of them.
Yeah, so
downfield.
It's only a break if you take advantage of it, right? So they did take advantage of it.
So 2nd down and 10 upcoming after the incompletion. Drew Hines out of the gun. Takes the snap. Read option, and he is going to be bottled up and taken down. What a play in the backfield. Landon Hayes, the junior linebacker,
and he
with the stop.
He is their leading tackler too, and you can see why on that play. That was impressive.
On top of leading them in tackles, came in tonight with 66, Mike. He has 4 forced fumbles, and you see here the discipline to stay home and sound tackle by Hayes. 3rd down and 11 for the Eldon Mustangs.
That's not just ability, that's studying some film and seeing that play before and knowing that you have to stay home. Great job by Hayes to throw them for a loss.
So a big 3rd down here for the Mustangs. Shy of midfield, Drew Hines out of the gun. He's going to hand it off, trying to get outside and will not. Great defensive pursuit. Landon Dunham, the senior, and he's 2nd on this team in tackles. And the leading defenders flex their muscle on that series for the California Pintos. And 4th down and 11, punt situation for the Mustangs.
Well, that was just good defense by California. And Eldon, they're actually lining up their regular offense here. I suspect that they'll drop back and punt, and they will.
Drew Hines also does the punting. Gets this one off, and it's going to be fielded at about the 26-yard line and then taken down right about there by Jackson Hensley, the senior.
Les with the return, the short return. So California is kind of in control here right now. Eldon without DeLong couldn't sustain the drive there and have to turn it over after the punts.
So for California, 2 possessions so far. They have executed and moved the ball 65 yards on both occasions. However, this is the longest field they've had yet. 1st down and 10 at their own 27-yard line. Althoff has Flora with a big hole, and rather Dunaway has about 6 yards on 1st down, and he was tripped up just barely. Otherwise, he might still be running.
I think Damian Fisher got a hand on his ankle as he made the cutback. That was labeled for a touchdown there. Yeah, Fisher just kind of got the back of his ankle, did a toe pick, and went down. Boy, good gain on 1st down.
And we'll give him 7, bringing up 2nd down and 3. And this Eldon crowd is quiet and potentially stunned, Mike.
I think a lot of people are.
Hand off to Flora, and he's going to be tripped up. Good piece of tackling on the edge. Cody Brown makes the stop. Going to bring up 3rd down and a short 1 for California, who, again, they're 3 for 3 so far. Eldon's defense has not been able to get a stop on these 3rd down situations here in the early going.
Osage goes up 14-0. Versailles trailing 12-0 to Colcamp.
So 3rd down and 1. Althoff out of the gun. Read option has 1st down yardage. Up to the 40-yard line, has a 5-yard. Beck Wellness Center 1st down. And California 4 for 4 on 3rd down. Unbelievable execution here in this first half. How about the game plan that Kenny Grubb and this California team rolled into Eldon with tonight?
Althoff got that center snap up a little high up on his shoulder, and it took him a second to get settled and get it moving forward. But the offensive line for California doing such a good job here. He's able to get 5 in the 1st down anyway.
The 40-yard line. 8:50 still left here in the first half. Quick handoff and a good gainer here. That's Dunaway up to midfield. He's got a Beck Wellness Center 1st down and a 10-yard gain. And the Pintos having their way with this Mustangs defense in this first half.
Yeah, I'm going to count this up real quick. 6, 10, 13, 16, 17, 20, 23, 25 plays, some scrimmage for California. For Eldon, 5. It's got to feel good to have this kind of success when you're 0-7.
Yeah, it's been a great start here for California. 1st down. Althoff in no man's land and is stuffed. In on the stop, getting the credit, big number 68, James Phillips, the senior. 1-yard loss.
Yeah, trying a little trap block there. And somebody just followed the pulling guard right into the running back and made a nice tackle. Eldon's numbers are a little difficult to see.
Yeah.
Got the maroon on black.
Yeah, I was looking for a 66 and quickly realized it had to be 68.
And Eldon did not get into the neutral zone. Never mind.
That hard count has already worked once. Here's Althoff now. Going to be a little option play, and Eldon does a great job staying home and limiting that. So 3rd down and 10. The longest 3rd down California's faced so far. It's 3rd down and 8, Mike, and it was a first down run on a great effort by Althoff. But this time, 3rd down and 11. Not a lot of plays in your bag here.
Well, when you're running an option, you have to keep what's called pitch relationship. In other words, the quarterback and the running back, as they move to the outside, have to stay a consistent distance, not too close because then one guy can cover both, and not too far away. And that time the running back got too far away.
So 3rd down and 11. Althoff going to take a shot. He's looking for the favorite target up, and nice defensive play, getting a hand on it out there. That's Brisbane defensively. They were looking for Jackson Hensley, their leading target. He had a step. A better throw. That is a completion, and Brisbane was able to get back.
Yeah, just a little bit underthrown. He had to turn and come all the way back and still almost made connections with it, Hensley.
And if it wasn't for the hand of Colin Brisbane, I think he does haul that in. So that's the first time so far Eldon's defense has got a stop, and this is the first punt for California, and it's a good one. High kick. Brisbane watches it bounce out at about the 18-yard line, so we'll give him 33 yards net on the punt, and Eldon gets a much-needed stop, trailing 14-7. They'll get it 1st down and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Have you seen anything on Camdenton yet? They're playing Capital City. He's been playing much better here recently.
Capital City leads at the end of the first quarter, 14-0 in that one.
Long, long season for Camdenton. Wow.
So Eldon now trailing 7 points, gets it back at their own 18. They look to start early as Drew Hines calls his own number for the first time tonight. Got a good gainer, but you get away with an early start.
I didn't see it. I don't know. I was actually watching something in the defensive backfield for California, but I did look back quickly. Good patient run by Hines. He just kind of waited for the blocking to develop. He double teamed on the inside very well. I thought I saw a flag come in there too, but I guess I was seeing something else.
So 2nd down and 1. We'll give him 9 on 1st down. Eldon, great down to take a shot on 2nd and short. Hines keeps it on the ground. He's got a Beck Wellness Center 1st down. Across the 30 up to the 32. We'll give him 5 and a fresh set of downs for the Mustangs.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it simple here until they can get a little bit better field position. I think that I'm seeing the long up walking around a little bit. Maybe not. He's not. Yeah, no, he's still on the table. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're seeing Christopher Johnson, those black on black jerseys. They make it difficult from our vantage point, really make out the numbers. So on 1st down, Hines rolls to his right in the flat, good connection, and that is Brisbane with the completion. They'll mark him at the 42-yard line. It is a Beck Wellness Center 1st down.
Well executed play. Rolling to his right. Perfect release. Good spiral right at the perfect moment. Turning upfield and getting the 1st down.
Yeah, and a good job by Brisbane to make sure he lunges forward, gets the 1st down yardage, and Eldon needed that. 1st down and 10. They've got it at their 42. Still 5:26 left here in this first half. Hines on the option. Keeps it. Falls forward. Has a good gain. Stopped on the play by Landon Hayes. Going to bring up 2nd down and 5. And Eldon now matching the pace of the California Pintos.
Do you feel like Eldon's offensive line is starting to get limbered up here and get going? It seemed like they've opened things up pretty well here. Good runs by Hines to get himself very close to 600 yards on the season.
Of course, still remember Hunter Hayes these last 4 years.
Hess.
Yeah, Hess. Man, he was awesome. Columbia College. Hines now taking a shot. He gets hit, but throws it up, gives his receiver a shot, falls incomplete. He was looking for Atkinson, a little underthrown, but Drew Hines knew he wanted to give his receiver a shot.
Yeah, Wasser just slapped that one out of there. Came over the top a little bit, but I think his timing was perfect. You'll see him take a big swing at this ball as it hangs up a little bit. And he's just able to bat it away and then give him a little push for his troubles.
So 3rd down and 6 now, upcoming for Eldon. Little option. Hines throws across his body, downfield, has his man, and 2 guys were there, Atkinson and Brown. Falls incomplete and brings up 4th down and 7, and that shouldn't happen.
I think what happened there is the timing of the play just got thrown off. Some big-time backside pressure on Hines as he rolls right. You can see he's getting all kinds of pressure, and he threw back in the middle of the field. I think the play was designed to go to the outside, and then his one receiver saw that he was in trouble. He tried to come back to him, and they just both got in the same spot, and that draws a crowd.
Both guys almost had an opportunity to come up with that. So 4th down and 6 now. Be interesting, will Eldon roll the dice? It looks like they might. Hines out of the shotgun.
This may be trying to draw you offside, and I think Coach Griffin's going to call a timeout.
He will. So we'll take a commercial break and be back with an Eldon. 4th down and 6.
What? Like and follow.
Phones are very distracting. Which is why Missouri now has a law against holding a phone while driving.
Dude, what are you doing? You can't hold your phone while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Buckle up.
It's the Lake Expo app, the lake's trusted news source, the boating lifestyle, the hottest lakefront real estate, where to go, what to see, and what to do at the lake. It's the Lake Expo app. Download it today.
Back here on Lake TV, where the Mustangs, trailing 14-7, are facing a 4th down and 6. And after you burn that timeout, do you tell the defense we're ready to punt?
I don't think so. I think the sense of urgency here for Coach Griffin. Now he's going to drop back now.
Hines actually going to roll to his right, going to flip it up, and it is bobbled and incomplete. Eldon rolls the dice on the fake punt and could not bring it in. Is Cody Brown,
and we've got a personal foul here well after the play. I'm not sure who's going to be the recipient of this. It's probably post-possession. Personal foul against Eldon. It was post-possession, so all it's going to do is change the field position for California, and it's going to give them the ball in Eldon territory.
Really good field position here, as Eldon had it at their own 48-yard line, so they tack on 15 and put it at the 33 rather, so it's going to be 1st down and 10 Pintos at the Mustangs 33-yard line, Mike, leading 14-7.
Wow, that's a big penalty. California has not been flagged. Eldon has been flagged 5 times.
So Althoff out of the gun, takes the snap, and he's got Flora. No, Althoff keeps it, and he's going to have 2 on 1st down.
He might have been better off flipping that to the outside. It looked like Flora had gotten a little bit of leverage to the outside. Checking in for Eldon, Christian Sanders, senior, 6 foot, 235.
And checking out is Isaiah Abbott, the junior, 6'4", 275. So 2nd down and 9 for California.
Those defensive linemen, if you can keep some fresh legs in there, that's a big deal.
The handoff goes nowhere, staying home. They give it to Flora, and it's Brendan Wilson, the senior, with the stop, going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Joe Reed there as well. So Eldon, after giving up incredible field position, really desperately needing something positive here.
Yeah, big 3rd down and 7 thus far. California 4 for 5 on 3rd downs. For Eldon, it would be defeating to watch California get a 2-score lead. Quick hitter into the flat for Hensley. He's going to reverse fields, and he's going the opposite direction, trying to get outside. He does. Ball's on the ground, and I think California recovers it. Fortunately, now Hensley's going to end up gaining about 4 yards on the play, but he ran about 50 to do so, if not more. 4th down and short upcoming. It'll be an interesting 4th down play.
I was thinking, seeing number 19 reverse his field like that, I was thinking about Lance Allworth. And as soon as I say that, I realized that most of our audience would have no idea who that is. He was an outstanding receiver for San Diego back in the day.
It's a great play by Cody Brown to force the fumble. Takes a fortunate hop for California, and it's 4th down and 3. And now I think Coach Grubb wants to talk it over with 2:26. Burns his first time out. We'll take a commercial break and be right back on Lake TV's Game of the Week.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Back on Lake TV for our Game of the Week. And Mike, an interesting development here at Victor Field, where the 0-7 California Pintos, an outstanding first half so far, but a big 4th down and 3 right here from the 26-yard line. Althoff takes the snap, gives it to Flora. He keeps those legs churning, and he's got a Beck Wellness Center first down up to the 21-yard line. Fresh set of downs for the Pintos. They'll have it at the 21-yard line of Eldon.
A pretty good time out there by Coach Grubb. By the way, I'd like to always mention the assistant coaches as well. Barry Blank, Ethan Cross, Tanner Dykus, who helped me with pronunciations, Richard Matzis, and our friend Quinn Randall. I wonder if he's taking a charge here tonight.
I was just going to say, in his playing days, just down the road in Versailles, one of the best charge, I don't know what you say, charge initiators, takers? I mean,
recipient.
There you go.
I don't know if that's a great
I consider you a great etymologist.
Really?
Yeah.
I like bugs?
Words.
Oh, okay.
So 1st down and 10 from the 21-yard line. Quick handoff. Here's Flora, I believe, and Dunaway actually, and a penalty flag flies. Fairly clean game thus far.
California may be getting their first penalty. Hunter Hall, man, he's a good-looking player. Number 60 was leading the blocking on that play. What do we got here?
I'll tell you, Joe Reed for the Mustangs was incensed following that play. I don't know if it was pure excitement for the stop, but waiting for the call here. Against the defense, so it's against Eldon. They move it down to the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st down and goal, Pintos. And they're inside the Price and Randall injury attorneys red zone for the 3rd time in this first half.
Who had that carry?
That was Dunaway on the carry. So on 1st and goal, Althoff. Turner with the carry, slips and then falls forward for about 3. And on the stop, Bryce Berenson,
you got it. For Eldon, it certainly doesn't get any easier. They have Boonville next week, and we saw them last week, and they've got their good running back, and they are a dangerous club.
Alex McDonald on the night, 31 carries, 200 yards, 3 scores, and that was him at about 70% on a snap count, Mike.
But a close game, so they kept riding their horse, man. He was impressive.
2nd and goal from the 7. Althoff gives it to Dunaway inside the 5, down to the 1-yard line, has 6 yards. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 1.
I think he was just chopped down by Brendan Wilson. He had a full head of steam, and it looked like he was going to take it in. Wilson was just able to get in there and get into his legs.
And great management of the clock here by California. They've got it all the way down inside 35 seconds, and if they use the entire play clock here, they can essentially shut Eldon down from having any time on the other side of however this drive finishes. Althoff out of the gun. He's going to keep his own number into the end zone for the score. His 2nd tonight, his 3rd of the season. And California, in the first 2 quarters tonight, has matched their season scoring total through 7 games. They lead 20-7 here with 23 seconds left in the first half.
Now, trying to do a little math in my head here. 7 and 2. They were averaging, what, less than 3 points a game. And putting 21 on the board here in the first half against the Eldon Mustangs. And I believe kick is up and good.
Barely good.
Yeah, Eldon will get the ball to start the second half.
So with 23 seconds left, California extends their lead, and they're out in front of the Mustangs, 21-7.
We've got an amazing cup of coffee for you again this week. A surprising vote on the city of Camdenton's dealings with the airport.
That huge news for offshore powerboat racing.
Yeah, a lot more money coming. The Big Bass Bash winner. We'll talk about that.
That's so many events going on here at the lake.
Yeah, and of course football. We got to talk about football.
That and Sheriff Chris Edgar responds over the Brandon Wisdom case. That and more on this week's Cup of Coffee. It's the Lake Expo app, the lake's trusted news source, the boating lifestyle, the hottest lakefront real estate, where to go, what to see, and what to do at the lake. It's the Lake Expo app. Download it today.
Welcome you back on Lake TV for our game of the week, and really an amazing start here for Coach Kenny Grubb and the California Pintos. They turn to their senior, Benton Althoff, at quarterback tonight, and he has rewarded the Pintos. And here's the kickoff fielded by Cody Brown. Nice little cutback across the 35. And down there at about the 36-yard line. So 18 seconds and 2 timeouts. Eldon does get the football first to start the second half, which is silver lining here if you're the Eldon Mustangs.
Yeah, because you've got some adjustments to make at halftime. I think you've kind of gotten to the point where you have to think about putting 9 in the box and just daring California to throw the ball here. Do you go for something here or just take a knee and go in and try to regroup at halftime? Looks like a knee thing here, doesn't it?
See, I don't agree with this call, Mike. You're down 2 scores, and if the second half doesn't go the way that you want, you're going to want that 18-second opportunity back, down 2 scores. But that's why I don't coach football. I tell you about it here on Lake TV. And after our first half concludes, a surprising score. California 21, Osage 7. We'll take a commercial break and be back with our Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes halftime show.
During this chapter of life, we are really taking the time to enjoy the little things.
So it was important to have our final wishes pre-planned so our family wouldn't be burdened later on.
Hedges Scott Millard made it simple, but thorough. They provided us with different options right here in the comfort of our home.
We are so glad that we planned ahead. Now a whole lot more of this, a little of this, all with the peace of mind we wanted.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we believe that every day is a gift, and so is every life. Take time to enjoy it.
Tailgate season is here. Get ready for the fun at Husker GMC. We have the best prices on Sierra trucks, perfect for every adventure. Right now, buy a new Sierra 1500 Elevation and save over $9,000 off MSRP. There's a reason why so many customers choose Husker GMC. Shop and save on Sierra 1500, 2500, and 3500 at your GMC truck headquarters. Shop now at huskergmc.com or visit our showroom in Lincoln. We are professional grade.
Competing on the field requires hard work. It also requires effort and making good choices, which carries over off the field, like good choices behind the wheel of your car. Did you know that a driver is 20 times more likely to be in a serious accident if texting and driving? Last year alone, 104 people were killed in Missouri from distracted driving.
So keep leading the statistics.
Don't become one.
Buckle up, phones down. This Drive Safe, Boat Safe reminder brought to you by Price & Randall Injury Attorneys.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're starting our mega sale this week, and we've got great deals in the mattress area. Tempur-Pedics, Purple, Stearns & Foster, all on sale. You need to come get a great night's sleep and check out the wonderful deals at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Lake life starts here. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we know that buying or selling a lakefront property is more than just a transaction. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter that we strive to make easy, from listing to closing. In a competitive market, we showcase your property to the masses online with lakeexpo.com, returning unmatched visibility. And if you're ready to buy that lake house, our team lives and breathes the lake lifestyle, so we know what this chapter is all about. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we believe in community, cherishing those lasting memories, and helping make your lake dream a reality. Check us out online to find lake properties. No logins, no distractions, just pure, unfiltered lake views and options. Lake Expo Real Estate, where we are ready to be a part of your next chapter.
It's time for a new home, and your solution is Ozark Homes under the water tower in Lori. Your home is and should be your safe place. At Ozark Homes, we take your dream and make it a reality while staying within your budget. With real estate and construction prices at an all-time high, let Ozark Homes stretch your dollar. We have many customizable options, including kitchens, bathrooms, fireplaces. We even offer a second level option. Quotes are always free, so give us a call or stop by today. Ozark Homes, making homeowners' dreams a reality for over 30 years.
Life truly is all about memories, but more importantly, those we create those memories with. And at Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes, our staff focuses on the families we serve.
Maybe you wouldn't necessarily know where to start. Josh showed up from the beginning to the end. He did amazing. I would absolutely recommend him to everybody I know.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve.
Welcome back to Lake TV's coverage of live high school football. I'm William Holtz, joined by the Hall of Famer Mike Bissell and Eldon for your Hedges Scott Millard halftime show. And Mike, maybe a bit of a surprise for those just tuning in, or for anyone who's followed high school football, but California out in front 21-7.
Ouch for Eldon. That's got to be a slap in the face. California not only with the lead here, but looking very good doing it. William, we'll go ahead and take a look at the numbers here, give you a bit of an idea there. A bit of a statistical anomaly with the California Pintos. They've got 3 running backs or 3 ball carriers that all have 10 carries in that first half. That doesn't happen very often. Dunaway had 10 for 56. Floor, 10 for 44. Turner, he's the odd man out here, 4 for 24. And Altoff with 2 touchdowns, 10 for 41. 165 yards rushing in the first half for California on 34 attempts. They played a clean first half of football, no penalties and no turnovers. Is Tay-Tay here?
Wow.
Giving him a call?
If you would have told me that the California Pintos would roll into Eldon, all 4 of their ball carriers would average between 4 and 6 yards. They've had 34 carries, no penalties, no turnovers. I would tell you, you're crazy. How about Coach Kenny Grubb's preparation and what this team has shown here in this first
You
half?
can go ahead and call me crazy if you want to, if it makes you feel better. But, yeah, I mean, you had to think that this is a game that Eldon would probably be, firmly in control of. But it's been just the opposite. California has ran, I'm going to say, 37 plays from scrimmage, and Eldon 14. The passing stats for California, just 2 of 3. Okay, the catches went to Althoff, 1 for 5, and Hensley, 1 for 4. So 9 yards through the air, 165 on the ground, 174 net from scrimmage. For the Eldon Mustangs, it's pretty much all one play. It was DeLong's 62-yarder on their first possession to score the touchdown. He had gotten injured on defense later on. Hines has 4 carries for 16 yards. Berenson 1 for 0 net yards, and Brisbane 1 for 3. So 81 yards on the ground for Eldon, only 7 attempts. They didn't turn the ball over as well. The passing stats, 2 of 7 for Hines, a 10-yarder to Brisbane, and a 21-yarder to Brown. So 31 through the air, 81 on the ground, 112 for Eldon. They've certainly not helped themselves with penalties, 6 for 41.
Including 2 kickoffs that gave great starting field position, and on a 3rd down and not long, but 3rd down and 8, a face mask that gave it to him 1st and goal. And in the first half, California 5 of 6 on 3rd down, Mikes, and all of those have been of the running variety.
Yeah, it's just an impressive game by California. And you know the level of competition they face night in and night out in the conference, but still you'd have to think that they would have been with the way they've looked here tonight, they'd been a little bit more competitive in some of the games. But you look back over the roster and they've gotten torched by some people, and there was no offense either. That's the crazy part of it when you look at what they've done here tonight. So that's an impressive first half of football for the California Pintos.
Yeah, Benton Althoff, the quarterback, comes in, and he had 1 rushing touchdowns on the season, and he's got 2 tonight. And for California, we told you, 20 points all season. They've yet to hit double digits, and they've got 21 points in the first half. And Mike just told you how clean they've played. But regardless, we know there's still a half of football. Eldon's going to get it first to start the second half. But for this program, this team in California, no one's going to be able to take this first half away from them.
No, not at all. And we talk about the running back, the numbers they put up. Hey, it always starts up front. And the offensive line has been very good. Most of the night, Californians went double tight end with a slot. The slot pulls back in to the center of the formation. It actually is like a pulling guard coming from the slot. So they've been impressive. The offensive line has been really good. And you look at the kids that are there, they've got some good size, and they all move around pretty well.
Yeah, and we did see Eldon make some adjustments. It seemed like on that first couple of series, the holes were massive.
Right.
They were running right through them. We started to see him get a little tighter and a little closer. We started to see him stuff those first down plays a little bit. But for Eldon, you look at the score, you're down 2 scores. You got to make more adjustments and come out, because you're going to get the football first. As you look at both these teams as far as the way the season shakes out, California, they're going to be in the last place in this district. They know they're going to be on the road. But for Eldon, they thought a win tonight, they could guarantee themselves a home playoff game. This game continues. The Mustangs may be headed on the road for Week 10.
Very well could be, and up to Hallsville. Hallsville's getting whacked pretty good tonight by School of the Osage. It's 21-0 just before halftime. So Osage is kind of salting away.
Southern Boone, I think. Right? Osage is at Southern Boone.
Southern Boone. And that would kind of salt away that #1 seed for them.
Yeah.
But for Eldon, this slap in the face, and you have to think the halftime adjustments for them, especially with the kneel down there with 18 seconds left and 2 timeouts. I mean, there wasn't much chance of getting anything going there. The passing game's been 2 for 7 so far, even when it wasn't an obvious passing situation. So probably the kneel down was a good thing. Hey, let's go in and work on the defense a little bit, because I think they've got to bring people up. They got to bring safeties down in the gaps and dare California to throw the ball.
Yeah, and for Eldon, Colin Brisbane is a name I want to bring up. We didn't hear from him a lot in the first half, but Drew Hines, the quarterback, we know he can run, but down 2 scores, you might see more of a passing attack in the second half, and that's a name Colin Brisbane, that if Drayden DeLong does not come back into this game, Brisbane's really the best athlete for the Mustangs. You got to find a way to get the football in his hands.
Yeah, because I was going to mention that as well. I mean, losing DeLong is a big deal for Eldon. He had that impressive 62-yard run, and I thought that a couple of guys had an angle on him. He just pulled away from the defenders there in the last 20, 25 yards. So if he's not able to return it, and we don't know the severity of the injury, but it didn't look like it was going to be something that, all of a sudden I feel better, Coach, put me back in. So we'd have to assume that he's gone. And what really hurts is that you also lose him on defense, too. He's a good tackler for them, good all-around player.
Yeah, speaking of good players, we talked about the two leading tacklers for California, but I've been so impressed with Landon Hayes and Landon Dunham. Both guys have been all over the field, and they've looked like, man, their speed laterally, it's not because of those two that this team has not won a game yet. Those guys are next level, and so they've been fun to watch. They've been all over the place defensively. But I know we're talking about California, a little bit of a surprise here, but for Eldon, not all hope is lost. Still 2 quarters of football. You get it first, and even though you may not have DeLong, you still have Chase Brown, you still got Drew Hines, you still have Drew Atkinson, Colin Brisbane. So we know there's playmakers on the field. Take it one drive at a time, and hey, you come out and get a touchdown on this first drive. Hey, it's a ball game, right? And a lot of football left.
Yeah, you got to mix some pass in there too, but I think the long pass is probably something you don't really want to go to. They didn't have a lot of success with that. I like the quick slants. Keep the ball out of the air as long as possible, just sharp, short passes. If they're playing against the zone, get up, you see a gap, just sit down and wait for the ball.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return for our Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes halftime show, we'll take a look back at our first half stats.
During this chapter of life, we are really taking the time to enjoy the little things.
So it was important to have our final wishes pre-planned so our family wouldn't be burdened later on.
Hedges Scott Millard made it simple, but thorough. They provided us with different options right here in the comfort of our home.
We are so glad that we planned ahead. Now a whole lot more of this, a little of this, all with the peace of mind we wanted.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we believe that every day is a gift, and so is every life. Take time to enjoy it.
It all started in Missouri. These hills have heard our language.
This identity is more than just a history lesson.
We are a nation that stands very strong because of the people that came before us.
We're Wajaji, and the Wajajis come from Missouri.
At New Spring Wellness Center, we understand how hectic life can be and the stress that comes with it. We also understand that your health often gets forgotten about. Whether it's addiction, weight loss, or lack of energy, New Spring Wellness Center offers natural services you won't find other places. From our vitamin IV drips to our laser hair removal and everything else. Naturally better health is our focus at New Spring Wellness Center in Osage Beach. Call now to schedule your free consultation.
So what are you in for? I had a few beers and I decided to drive. You? I stopped at a green light. I was high.
Dude, you can't be drunk or high while driving. Yeah, that's illegal.
Even just slightly buzzed or high decreases your reaction time by at least 50%.
What?
It does.
Well, what did you guys do?
Us, we robbed the house.
Be a good guy. Don't drive drunk or high.
And we welcome you back to Lake TV's coverage of live high school football here for your Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Home halftime show. And Mike, as we get a look at our first half highlights, it was a lot of running for the California Pintos.
Yeah, a whole lot in regards to and running effectively too. 165 yards and a half on 34 attempts, and it was like a four-headed monster there. It was Dunaway, it was Flora, it was Turner getting 4 carries, and Altoff getting 10 as well, too. That was just a good mixture.
Defensively, you see right there, we talked about Landon Hayes getting in on the act. Flora running. You've already seen his touchdown. Altoff had not 1, but 2, as you see his second right there. And so that is kind of how the first half shaken out. And if you didn't watch it and you're just tuning in, you might be a bit surprised by this score. And we told you, following tonight, just one high school football game left on Lake TV, which means it's going to be basketball season before you know it. And for Lake TV, our first broadcast, Tuesday, December 2nd, the Eldon Mustang girls will play at Camdenton.
Right.
We'll have that game for you with our COMC pregame show set about 15 minutes before tip-off. And this year, 14 games, 10 men's games, and 4 women's games, all Eldon, Versailles, Osage, and Camdenton.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun. I've kind of gotten out of touch with the local kids a little bit, but I'm sure it's something to look forward to. We should have fun season for Chris.
What we're calling the high school games in the smaller schools down here, you'll be up in Columbia, right, at the Norm Stewart Classic, which has like 9 future lottery picks playing probably.
Wow, it's the matchups here. I'll run through these real quick. We do have some time here, if that's okay. We start off Friday morning, December 5th, with Jamestown and North Shelby's girls and boys both playing. Now, the reason North Shelby always plays, that's a hometown of Norm Stewart, Shelbina. And then you got Granite City, Illinois, and Union, Missouri. This is again on Friday. Lynn and Owensville playing. That's a boys' game. Another boys' game, Warrensburg and Cap City. Another boys' game, Pembroke Hill. That's down on the plaza in Kansas City against Rolla. Rolla has a recruit who's already signed to play at Illinois.
Number 3 in the state of Missouri, you told me.
Yeah. And then Principia, they're just ridiculous. They're playing Little Rock Central. That's going to be a good matchup there as well, too. Another boys' game. Actually, the only girls' game I just now realized this is Jamestown and North Shelby. Then you've got Centralia and Eldon playing at 10 o'clock Saturday morning, 10 a.m. I have to get out of bed pretty early for that one, I guess. Then KIPP KC, I'm guessing that KIPP stands for something in Kansas City, but I don't know what it is. They're taking on Moberly. This is Saturday at 11:30, 1 o'clock. Bishop Meege taking on Father Tolton. Father Tolton's always loaded. They're always good. Warrenton and Boonville will follow that. Boonville's got a kid, I guess, who's one of the top players in Missouri, too. I didn't know that. Apparently he didn't play football. Marquette and Jefferson City play at 4 o'clock. Little Rock Central and Vashon will play. Vashon's got Jimmy McKinney. Again, that has to be a relation to Jimmy McKinney. He was such a good guard for Mizzou a few years back. Then we have the New School against Zephyr Hills Christian Academy. That's significant because the New School is Aiden Cronister's school, and he's a 26-27 signed recruit for Mizzou, and he's playing his future teammate Tony Bryant from Zephyr Hills Christian Academy in Tampa, Florida. What a game that'll be. And then we've got Inglewood, California taking on Principia again, and then we'll wrap up Saturday night at 10 o'clock, Putnam City North in Oklahoma taking on the Cardinal Ritter. And
for the 2 games you'll be calling, where can you listen to those at?
I think that the website, and it's not on my list here, but I think it's the normstewartclassic.com. I'll sure pass that information along.
Beautiful.
A small fee. It's for the television broadcast. They've got a really good crew up there. It's a lot of fun. I'll be doing, I don't know what they're going to. They've had me in the past do 2 games a day, so I'll probably do a couple of games on Saturday and a couple of games on Friday too, but I don't know that yet.
And I'd highly recommend, as we get ready for the winter basketball season, that if you don't have anything going, December 5th and 6th, maybe go buy a ticket and get in. It won't be a lot, probably $6 to $8, and it'll be well worth the price of admission.
And the broadcast fee isn't a lot either. I think it's $10 or something like that. And you can watch both days. So if you get a chance, wow, great cause for Norm Stewart's Classic.
Yeah, as they raise money for cancer research and awareness. But as far as high school basketball across the state of Missouri, there will be no better tournaments held this year than the Norm Stewart Classic, set for December 5th and 6th. So as we conclude our halftime show brought to you by Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes, we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we return, the second half kickoff between California and Eldon.
The best year-round dining at Lake of the Ozarks is Tucker Shuckers Oyster and Tap. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Enjoy our award-winning menu, including our signature oysters. And we serve food until 11, so stop by tonight after the Mustangs game. Tucker Shuckers on the historic Bagnell Dam Strip. proud sponsor of Mustangs football on Lake TV.
At Beck Wellness, we always say that if you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. Our goal is to make sure you're ready to enjoy all the lake has to offer, and more importantly, that you don't miss out on the moments that matter the most. From neuropathy, problems with your feet, hip, or back pain, and even a spinal tune-up. I'll make sure you're set to enjoy the moments that matter the most. I'm Dr. Mark Beck, inviting you to stop by for a consultation. But for now, back to this live high school game of the week on Lake TV.
Hey, you got to join us for this week's COMC Community Spotlight Show. We got our friend the sheriff back with us, Sheriff Chris Edgar. Okay, so we're going to tell you some amazing stories, right? Like the darkest parts about being in law enforcement and how they handle that, and some of the greatest parts about being in law enforcement, a story you're not going to believe. So be sure to join us for this week's COMC Community Spotlight Show.
It's the Lake Expo app, the lake's trusted news source, the boating lifestyle, the hottest lakefront real estate, where to go, what to see, and what to do at the lake. It's the Lake Expo app. Download it today.
It all started in Missouri.
These hills have heard our language. This identity is more than just a history lesson.
We are a nation that stands very strong because of the people that came before us.
We're Wajaji, and the Wajajis come from Missouri.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Back here on Lake TV as we're set to get squared off in the second half with Eldon down 21-7. Mike, bit of a surprise here from Victor Field, but still 2 quarters of football left.
And it'll be interesting to see what Nick Griffin and his staff of Brian Calvino, Colby Davis, Chad Hines, Jacob Kelling, and Dusty Purnell came up with at halftime. William, I think they have to sell out on the run and force, or dare actually, California to throw the ball, because 164 yards rushing, that's not going to cut it for Eldon, down by 14.
We are set. Kickoff fielded at the 20-yard line. That's Cody Brown now pushes his own player down, cuts back across field, and he's up to about the 35. Worth noting, Mike, is number 6, Drayden DeLong, is down on the sideline, jumping up and down. Looks like he is trying to convince somebody he's able to play. He's limping a bit, but you see him down here. He is trying his best, but without Drayden DeLong on the field. The Mustangs have it 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Looks like he's got that left ankle taped up pretty well, trying to walk it off.
So Eldon, a crucial first series here in the second half. Drew Hines, first down, going to be Colin Brisbane with the carry. Try to get outside. He does. Now cuts back inside. Wrong way. Yeah, he loses yards. He actually goes back and loses a yard back behind the initial line of scrimmage. No, forward progress stops him. He's fortunate because he did get tackled behind the line.
And he actually gave himself up running backwards too. That could have been drawn up as a loss of a yard rather easily.
And it ends up, he's all the way up to the 39 right there. Keeps going the wrong direction, and they spot him at the 35, okay, bringing up 2nd and 11.
They moved it back a little bit.
Cody, you're on! Cody, you're on!
Full house backfield, kind of an inverted wishbone.
Trying to get outside. still on his feet, picking up positive yardage for Eldon is Bryce Berenson. That looked like it was going nowhere, but good patience. And Berenson ends up picking up, we'll give him about 6. Going to bring up 3rd down and a manageable 6 for Eldon.
And you can't panic here if it doesn't develop for you and get the 1st down. I just don't think you could afford to give up the ball in plus territory for California. But obviously they're going to try to get this. A little different look here. This is kind of a inverse wishbone formation here. We're going to run a lot of option, it looks like.
Yeah, it is a funky looking play. It's going to be a delayed pass into the flat, looking for his target and completes it. That is a beautiful throw to Cody Brown up to the 45-yard line. We'll give him 14 yards and a Beck Wellness Center 1st down. And that was a long, long throw for Drew Hines.
It was in the air a long time, too. Brown didn't panic, just catch the ball first and then get your feet down. And of course, in high school, you only have to get 1 inbounds.
Unbelievable throw across his body on the money. And the nice thing was it had plenty of loft with a spiral, so easy for Brown to catch. 1st down and 10 at the 45. It's going to be a handoff trying to get outside. And that's Colin Brisbane. Talked about him in our halftime show. He's got it inside the 40 with a nice gainer on 1st down.
Well, it looks like Eldon is intent on getting to the outside here. They're running that. It's really an inverted wishbone, and they're pulling the other 2 backs, and then whoever the 3rd back is, whether it's like a halfback or the fullback or even somebody from the slot, they're sweeping to the outside. They haven't really run anything between the tackles yet.
So 2nd down and 6 from the 41. Berenson trying to get outside. Nice hole, has a Beck Wellness Center 1st down before he's taken down at about the 33-yard line. Ball came out, but not until he was down. So Berenson with a Beck Wellness Center 1st down and a nice opening series here for the Eldon Mustangs.
Good block by Thatcher Brown, a sophomore, good-looking player, 264, 245. A little push in the back there, but that's okay when you're at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, how about Landon Dunham, though? One arm from behind the play was able to bring the ball carrier down. It was after a nice gain, but Dunham continues to impress. The senior linebacker, 2nd on the Pintos in tackles this season.
Got a little different look to the formation here.
It's going to be Brisbane again trying to get outside. He will inside the 30, inside the 20, to the 5, to the house for the score. Colin Brisbane from 33 yards out cuts into the California lead with 9:17. And you said, partner, they're trying to get outside, and once again, they run it to Colin Brisbane. He gets the edge and that breakaway speed on display.
Well, whatever the coaches saw, they felt that they could run like a zone read or an option here, but just every play was to the outside. Good block there by the wide receiver. Then Brisbane just turned on the jets.
And Dugan in to attempt the extra point and converts. So Eldon takes 2:43 off the 3rd quarter clock and scores on a 33-yard touchdown run for Colin Brisbane.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're starting our mega sale this week, and we've got great deals in the mattress area. Tempur-Pedics, Purple, Stearns & Foster, all on sale. You need to come get a great night's sleep and check out the wonderful deals at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Get another look as we welcome you back as Colin Brisbane. Brisbane from 33 yards out cuts into the California lead, and Eldon a good start to the 2nd half. Still down though, 21-7 to California, who's set to get the football back.
No turnovers in the 1st half, but Eldon was slapped with 6 penalties, but clean so far here in a little bit less than 3 minutes of play.
Fielded at about the 18 by Hensley, yeah, and he's got a nice return up to about the 35-yard line, and California will start right there on their first offensive series of our 2nd half.
Well, Eldon made some pretty significant adjustments offensively. It paid off for them. Let's see what they do on defense. I see single high, and I'm guessing they're going to put a lot of people in the box here. And the danger with that is if they do get a good seam and a block, and then there's one guy to beat on the backside.
Yeah, good point.
I don't really see anything. Well, they've got 8 up in the box anyway.
Altoff, first down carry to Dunaway, who keeps those legs moving and taken down on the play on a second effort by Joe Reed. That's a solid gain on first down, given 8 yards, brings up second down and 2.
So Dunaway was 63 on 11 carries now. And that should put him over 400 for the year. And that's a good total for a team that's been beaten up on a little bit this season.
Ooh. Option here. Altoff calls his own number. Big gainer across the 40, across the 30, inside the 10, and for the third time tonight, it's Altoff to the house. Benton Altoff, the senior, from 56 yards out. How about that?
Kind of a mirror image of the first half, where it was California that grounded out and went down, and Eldon had the big play to score it quickly. And now we just flipped script here a little bit. Altoff, good ball handling, gets to the outside. Eldon got sucked in to the inside too much and couldn't adjust.
Yeah, and I thought the Eldon defender was going to get him, but it was great speed, and not sure it was a great angle. But I'll tell you what, it is Benton Altoff, his third touchdown tonight, Mike. That one from 56 yards out. The extra point is up, and it is good. I can only assume that's Gonzalo Garcia and wearing number 12. So with 8:28, California answers and regains their 2-touchdown lead.
It's time for a new home, and your solution is Ozark Homes under the water tower in Laurie. Your home is and should be your safe place. At Ozark Homes, we take your dream and make it a reality while staying within your budget. With real estate and construction prices at an all-time high, let Ozark Homes stretch your dollar. We have many customizable options, including kitchens, bathrooms, fireplaces. We even offer a second-level option. Quotes are always free, so give us a call or stop by today. Ozark Homes, making homeowners' dreams a reality for over 30 years.
They're back on Lake TV with 8:28 left in the third quarter, and through 3 minutes and 32 seconds of this third quarter, both teams have scored. And here's our ensuing kickoff by Garcia, fielded at about the 28-yard line by Berenson, and he's going to take it up to about the 36-yard line where Eldon starts with it. First down and 10.
Yeah, kind of a hot squib kick coming right at him. He got one hand on it and stopped it and finally found it. And then got as far upfield as he possibly could before the traffic caught up with him. So a decent return and decent field position for Eldon.
Yeah, how about that? The most points this California team had scored so far in a game this season was 7. They've hung 28 on the first 2+ quarters on the Eldon Mustangs tonight.
And it looks sharp doing it, too. That's the part. I mean, you expected all kinds of errors and stuff with an 0-17, but that has not been the case.
No, very well coached, very crisp. And here's a little option trying to get outside, and great pursuit once again. And uh-oh, I think number 44 gets away with one there. Landon Dunham, his counterpart, Landon Hayes, had already made the stop. It's a huge loss on first down. That's going to be a 7-yard loss. Now they move it a little closer, so they're going to say a 5-yard loss. Going to bring up second down and 15.
Who's actually on that carry? That's Brisbane. Okay. Yeah, that was, they figured out pretty quick that Eldon's going to be running wide on him apparently, and got upfield on that one. Play never had a chance.
Yeah, so second down and 14. California is buzzing at this point, Mike. 2-score lead, quarter and a half to go. Berenson gets the handoff, trying to get outside, and here he goes. Across the 50, it's going to be a foot race, and he'll be caught by Hensley. It's a big gainer. They mark him at the 35. It's a 30-yard Beck Wellness Center first down, and Eldon in business.
Boy, good speed to the outside, stayed with it. So Eldon had a 5-yard loss on a sweep, and then they come right back and have the nerve to go ahead and run it again and get a big gain there.
Yeah, we'll give him 30 as Barron's in. There wasn't a lot of room initially, but then that hole opens up and his speed is on display. What a tackle by Hensley.
Yeah, that's a touchdown saving tackle, and it takes a little nerve to dive like that too, because if you miss, it's all over. Ooh, Eldon was in motion, no call.
First down carry, violent tackle. He goes down hard, does Brisbane, after a 2 or 3 yard gain.
Yeah, Eldon got a break there. I'm sure the official, I mean, you could tell by the official's reaction, he was looking right at it. Didn't call it. One of the wide receivers split to the right, just started in motion toward the line of scrimmage, but no call.
So on 2nd down and 7, ball's the 33-yard line. Same formation we're accustomed to seeing here for Eldon. They do have 2 wide receivers at the top of the formation. Hines going to throw a little screen pass out that way. Has his man. Good yardage inside the 20. Inside the 10 to the house for the touchdown. Cale Hammond, the sophomore, on a 32-yard well-designed screen. Hines found him in the flat, and Hammond does the rest from 32 yards out.
A little trickery there for the Eldon Mustangs, and it paid off. And I'll tell you what, I thought when that ball first went up in the air, that's a pick six the other way, because it's thrown off the back foot across the field.
We have a shootout here in this 3rd quarter as Dugan's extra point is up and good as we get another look at the 32-yard screen pass as Cale Hammond catches it and does the rest. Eldon pulls back to within 7. And we're back on Lake TV's Game of the Week for Eldon in what's shaping up to be an instant classic here. 3 series or possessions so far through the first 5:47 and 3 touchdowns. 28-21 your score. California out in front by a tutty and about to get the football back.
So Eldon's out a 34 and a 32-yard touchdown, and California has answered with a 56-yarder.
Some long plays, not to mention a 30-yard run by Berenson to set up the touchdown pass to Hammond. So what a game we've got here tonight on Lake TV as Dugan set to kick off. It's going to be fielded by Hensley at his own 11-yard line, and he's going to take a knee at the 20. Yeah.
He saw 3 Mustangs closing in on him with no blockers in sight. Thought, you know, I'm good, right? I'm good here.
Yeah, I'm all right. So far in this one, it has been Benton Altoff, Mike, well over 100 yards so far, 3 rushing touchdowns, and probably a good move by Coach Kenny Grubb to go with him as your starter. The game plan has worked to perfection tonight. California back with the football.
And they have been impressive tonight, over 200 yards rushing.
First down carry is Dunaway. First man misses. Oh, look at Dunaway keep those legs moving. And Eldon even gets away with a face mask at the beginning of that play. But
Dunaway is a load, man. This kid is 5'4", and they listed 175 pounds. He must have some strong, strong legs.
Yeah, looky here. He gets face masked by Brown. No call there, but he says, doesn't matter. I'll just keep going. So forward progress stopped him at the 27-yard line. 2nd down and 3.
Eldon going with 5 defensive linemen here. And
here's Turner, the Beck Wellness Center first down. A nice gainer up to the 37. That's 10 yards and a fresh set of downs here for California.
Turner getting in on the fun too. 5 carries, 34 yards. Eldon showing a different look, 5 down defensive linemen. But the problem there again, as I mentioned on that last drive, if you get past that first wave, then it's a one-on-one in the backfield. And the defensive back is probably backpedaling or angling for the sideline.
And again, California is telling you what they're going to do. We haven't seen them play any play action or any shots down the field, really. So, Eldon, they're going to have to make a stop at the line of scrimmage. Turner, the first down carry, and he's going to be taken down from up under. Nice tackle by Joe Reed, who goes low, limits Turner to 2.
There's the play again where they use the slot man to the weak side as a pulling guard, and he comes across, and this good play defensively for Eldon to get down there and stop that for just a 2-yard pickup. But that's been the execution for California all night.
Play clock at 15, still plenty of time, and California, they have made a point to let the play clock run down. They want to keep the football in the offense's hands, and on second down, Dunaway, hard run. We'll give them about 3, maybe 4. Going to bring up 3rd down and 3. Again, California, 5 of 6 in the first half on 3rd downs. And on 3rd down and 3, maybe 4 here, Eldon would love to get a stop.
You know, not only I'm running the play clock down, William, I don't think that's because they're trying to shorten the game. As a fact, they don't have as much depth. And so maybe they're trying to, give their kids as much of a break between plays as they possibly can.
Yeah, great point. And I don't see why you wouldn't, especially when you're playing with the lead. No reason to force the issue here. So 3rd down and 3. Great run. Dunaway gets an extra 6 after balancing with the fingernail, it would appear. But yeah, he is impressive. Only a sophomore, Mike.
Yeah, he ran a fairly significant distance on one hand and 2 legs, and that's incredible balance and strength in that off arm to keep yourself and keep moving forward at the same time.
Yeah, that was an impressive run, and they kept it on the ground once again on 3rd down. They're now 6 for 7, and look out, that is on the ground, and that is a loose ball, and Eldon has it.
What a play.
Cody Brown recovers.
But what he did there, look out, guys, don't pick up any penalties here, just walk away. What the Eldon player did, and I'm not sure who it was initially, is instead of diving for the ball, Althoff was there. He pushed Althoff past the ball and then dove on it. You'll see it here. The high center snap just goes through, pushes him out of the way, and then one of his teammates is able to follow up.
Yeah, that was number 14, Brendan Wilson. Great spot, Mike. He did not allow Althoff to recover. And the push is what allowed Brown to recover. Our first turnover in Eldon. An opportunity to tie this ball game with a touchdown and extra point. And here is Drew Hines on the run to the house, all the way from 40, 3 yards out, and Eldon answers right back, and now we have a penalty flag. Just one play after the turnover, Drew Hines to the house. It is a dead ball foul, probably either taunting or unsportsmanlike conduct, but the touchdown will stand.
They're saying personal foul here. They ran a counter play with the offside tackle, and it sold out. I don't really, okay, there it was, never mind. That one, I don't know how you pick somebody out and say, this is the guy that did that. I don't know. From what we saw in the replay there, the touchdown is good, obviously. The personal foul will be assessed on the kickoff, I would assume. A situation where Eldon's already had troubles. That's 7 penalties for Eldon, 56 yards.
So an extra point away from tying this one up, and it is Hayden Dugan, the junior, who has been really good so far on PATs this season. It is up, and it is good, and we are tied 28 apiece with 2:47 left in the third quarter. We'll be back on Lake TV's Game of the Week. The best year-round dining at Lake of the Ozarks is Tucker Shucker's Oyster and Tap. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Enjoy our award-winning menu, including our signature oysters. And we serve food until 11, so stop by tonight after the Mustangs game. Tucker Shucker's on the historic Bagnell Dam Strip. Proud sponsor of Mustangs football on Lake TV.
Tailgate season is here. Get ready for the fun at Husker GMC. We have the best prices on Sierra trucks, perfect for every adventure. Right now, buy a new Sierra 1500 Elevation and save over $9,000 off MSRP. There's a reason why so many customers choose Husker GMC. Shop and save on Sierra 1500, 2500, and 3500 at your GMC truck headquarters. Shop now at huskergmc.com or visit our showroom in Lincoln. We are professional grade.
So as we welcome you back to a tie ball game, 28-28, California and Eldon, and the penalty yardage goes against the Mustangs on the unsportsmanlike conduct. So they'll kick off from their own 25, but a lot of points here. It was 21-7 at the half. We've had 28 points in the first 9 minutes and 13 seconds. Eldon outscoring California 21-7 here in this third quarter.
Yeah, it's been an impressive adjustment for Eldon. They've run those sweeps so much and then ran that counter off of it, and they got California flowing the wrong way. Great run.
And don't forget the costly turnover as Hensley fields it at his own 24-yard line and goes down again at about the 40-yard line. So Hensley just kind of giving himself up the last two times, and good starting field position here. But now if you're California, those thoughts start to creep in. Oh man, we're 0-7. We had a 2-score lead twice, not again. But for them, you got to play this out here. You're still tied. And Eldon, we talked about those turnovers, right? They had really struggled. And after pulling it to within a touchdown for the second time tonight, they get a huge takeaway, and they waste no time on that first play. 43-yard touchdown run for Drew Hines, and that's where we sit, 28 apiece. Here's Dunaway. Big carry for him on first down up to the 40-yard line. We'll give him 19 yards and a Beck Wellness Center first down.
Well, just the quick opener and a burst. Player for Eldon shaken up a little bit, but he's back up now. Actually helped up. Well, look at that quick step there by Dunaway through the hole. A 5'4" kid running through the line like that. It's impressive.
Cody Brown eventually gets the stop for the Mustangs, but not until 19-yard gainer on the play for Dunaway. So 2:15 left here in the third quarter. California back in Eldon territory. Althoff, weird looking play, keeps it on the option. He has 4. He's done a really good job of hiding the football. You talk about ball control on that long touchdown run in this third quarter. The 56-yarder really sells the defense on who has the football. But one thing, Mike, that sometimes leads to turnovers, and that play right there was awful close to seeing the ball on the ground.
Yeah, he left it, it's a zone read, and he left it in the belly of his running back for a long, long time. But keeping his eyes upfield and saw that the running back wasn't going to have a lane, pulled it out, got 4.
Second down and 6 now from the 37. Althoff keeps it up to about the 32-yard line. We'll give him 4. Going to bring up third down and 2, actually 3.
Good block there by the freshman Isaiah Heimerichs. They like him so much he's on the roster twice. He's 6 foot, 200-pound freshman. Got a good block there, number 63. Tied everybody up in the middle.
I mean, both Althoff and Dunaway have done such a great job at getting those extra yards after first contact. Those legs are always moving. So third down and 3. Althoff calls his own number, and he's going to be stuffed this time. Good job defensively. And then on the stop, Keon Dinwiddie, the junior, going to bring up fourth down and 2.
Isaiah Abbott, a good-looking junior, 6'4", 275. He got leverage there, and he just waited for the running back to come in. He stacked it up, had a lot of help there as well.
Huge fourth down and 2 here for California at the Eldon 33-yard line. Third quarter winding down, just 16 seconds left. Althoff, hard count.
Yikes.
And nobody apparently got into the neutral zone. Althoff, look out. Ball's on the ground. And Eldon has it at the 29-yard line. The recovery is Colin Brisbane. And for the second consecutive possession, Mike, California coughs it up on a fumble.
Yeah, that's a shame. A nice drive here.
He never had it.
He never had it. Wow, I don't know. I think he thought that he was going to take it away from the running back, the Althoff, the quarterback, that is. And down on the ground again. So a clean first half for California. No penalties, no turnovers. Well, they're still good with the no penalties, but 2 turnovers here. And the penalty now, oh no, they're getting the chains set properly. They got to go one way and come back again. Hold them up here until they get it ready. It's been big plays for Eldon.
First down carry. Trying to get outside for Hammond and across the 40. And the coach wants us. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. That's a good gain there, but
looked like the contact started. Now we do have penalties in 2 spots, so that is the final play of the third quarter. We are tied, but penalties coming, maybe on both teams.
Yeah, you're going to get a hold there, and I think the hold's going to be called on Chase Atkinson. Yeah, I don't know about the out-of-bounds thing there.
And the coach was incensed on the sideline. And I'm not sure that the Eldon coach didn't earn that personal foul.
He certainly was demonstrative with it. It's just a straight offset, isn't it? Holding on Eldon, yeah. So wash out the play, I think. Is it offsetting?
They should give us an offsetting symbol.
I don't know what's going on. I have no idea here. The play actually gained 12 yards. Now what? I don't get why would you spot the ball there?
The play shouldn't have counted. They should replay.
Let's just replay it first
down. But
30.
Our third quarter has concluded in an absolute thriller. We are tied at 28-28 between the California Pintos and the Eldon Mustangs. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter on Lake TV.
At Beck Wellness, we always say that if you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. Our goal is to make sure you're ready to enjoy all the lake has to offer, and more importantly, that you don't miss out on the moments that matter the most. From neuropathy, problems with your feet, hip, or back pain, and even a spinal tune-up, I'll make sure you're set to enjoy the moments that matter the most. I'm Dr. Mark Beck, inviting you to stop by for a consultation. But for now, back to this live high school game of the week on Lake TV.
Welcome you back as you get a look at our Ozark Homes fan cam here on Pink Night in Eldon, where Eldon has outscored California 21-7 in the second half. They win the third quarter, and they've erased a 14-point deficit. They've got it, well, I guess they're going to say first down and 3.
I can't reconcile this any way, shape, or form. A 15-yarder on California, a 10-yarder on Eldon, and first and 2. Second and 2, and it was a 12-yard gain. Do the math on that one.
I'm not good at math when you don't throw me for a Missouri State High School Activities Association loop, Mike. So here is the second down, trying to get outside as Drew Hines. He does across midfield, inside the 40, still on his feet, and they're going to say he steps out. And he does. We'll wait and see where they spot it. He was at the 38. He's up to the 34, so we'll give him 28 yards. And a Beck Wellness Center first down. And Hines knew he stepped out, but he didn't hear the whistle, and he almost thought, hey, I'm off and running.
Yeah, you play till you hear the whistle. No, we're just not going to worry about it. I don't know how to score that, though, at all. We'll give Eldon a 10-yard penalty and a 15-yard penalty, which is the first of the night against the California Pintos. I think we see why California was milking the play clock. They may be getting worn down a little bit here.
And you look at their sideline, I mean, there's not the depth, and now a penalty flag. This might be offsides against Eldon. No, false start. Yeah, I saw the receiver looked as if he was over the line. They're going to back it up 5 yards. He'll spot it at the 38-yard line. Maybe the 39 here. 11:42 left, and well, they got just a minute, Mike. I wanted to. Oh, they do say offsides on the offense, so I guess procedure as well. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs last week against the Detroit Lions, a game that a lot of people thought the Chiefs would struggle. They didn't just beat Detroit. They really manhandled them.
Yeah, it was funny. It looked like early on that they were just running at will, but it takes a while for Spags to get settled in defensively.
And here's Drew Hines on the read option, trying to get outside, and he will. Leapfrogs a defender. He's got good yardage, but a penalty flag flies from the secondary towards the line of scrimmage. So this one may be coming back. They mark it at the 26-yard line. For now, it's a 13-yard run for Drew Hines.
I think they get 68 Phillips here, but I thought this was a good block.
They do. They call hold against the Mustangs, so erase that. The penalty marker's sitting at the 30. So if they mark it back 10 from there, it'd go back to the 40, where it would be first down and 16, which is exactly what they'll do.
That's the 10th penalty on the Eldon Mustangs. Wipes out a good run there, too.
Yeah, but what a shift we've seen. It was 28-14, California. Since then, Eldon has scored twice, capitalizing on 2 California turnovers.
They're overloaded to the wide side here. See if they try to get some kind of stretch zone here. They do pull to that side.
And that's going to be Hammond. Cuts back across. Good run here by Cale Hammond. Still on his feet up to the 30 before being taken down at the 29-yard line. He has 11 yards on first down and 16. It's going to bring up second down and 5, and that was a good run on first down and long.
Yeah, and reversing his field. They got everything flowing in one direction. Overloaded to the right side. The guards are both pulling. He was stopped for a loss and was able to get to the backside, shake out a one tackle there.
Man, Hammond is impressive. He's also a sophomore. You look at both sides with Dunaway for California and Hammond for the Mustangs. Couple of impressive sophomores.
That was his first carry of the night.
Hines got a man deep. If he wants to take a shot, now he does, and it's too late. Looking for a flag, potentially none to be found. So third down and 4 upcoming for Eldon.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at the pass play there. And they were running the ball effectively, and you'd wiped out a first and 16 with that good run by Hammond. You know, that looked like a good situation to, you can run it 2 times more if you wanted to get the first down, keep the drive alive. Now 3rd and 5, so again, I think you're going to look at the wide side of the field here and try to get that stretch zone blocking to the outside, see what develops.
Yeah, big down for both teams here. 3rd down and 5. Here's Hines. Takes the snap. He's going to call his own number and runs into a wall. Defensively closing for California, Landon Dunham. First man there. Also in on the stop, Ace Currens, the senior, and Hines. No gain. Going to bring up 4th down and 3.
Yeah, they're going to move it up a little bit to about the 27. So we hit the 10-minute mark, tied at 28. And you go for it here. There's nothing to be gained by punting, maybe a few yards.
Yeah, and for California, get it stopped, be a huge victory after your defense would essentially be bailing out your offense, because this is where they had the ball before they turned it over on 4th down and 2. Now it's Eldon, 4th down and 3. Cale Hammond with the carry. Falls forward. He's got a Beck Wellness Center first down up to the 23-yard line. Needed 3.5 and got 4, Mike.
Yeah, good looking run there. Just sensing that there was a good push in the interior of the line for Eldon, and rode it down to the 22, which was plenty for the first down and converting on 4th down. Boy, good push from the interior line there.
Yeah, and I think you're on to something, Mike. It does look like the front for California is starting to get gassed. They're not subbing guys every 3, 4, 5 plays like you'll see defensively Eldon do on the defensive line. Huge advantage for Eldon here in this 4th quarter. Here's the run for Drew Hines. Nice gainer up to about the 16-yard line. We'll give him 6, and that moves it inside the Price and Randall Injury Attorneys red zone for the Mustangs.
And look at what Eldon did throughout most of the 3rd quarter. They ran it sideline to sideline. So you've got kids that are probably playing both ways, running sideline to sideline. It's always harder. I don't know why it is, but it's always harder on defense than it is on offense.
So 2nd down and 5. 8.5 left here in this one. Deadlocked at 28, but Eldon 14 unanswered points and looking to go again. Cale Hammond inside the 5. It's a fumble out of the end zone. That's a touchback. Absolutely. What a job defensively by the Pinto. Knocked it out inside the 1-yard line, and now Eldon, a costly turnover. It'll be a touchback with California getting it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
That was inches away. The officials are going to talk about if that breaks the plane,
which it did not.
Yeah, he was definitely short of the goal line.
And that was Hensley coming in. Jackson Hensley, the senior, he leads the Pintos with 3 interceptions so far this season. And now a massive forced fumble, and it is indeed a touchback. California will get it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Where did that play start from for Hammond?
That started at the 17-yard line.
So got to give him 16 yards anyway. The officials are having quite a discussion, and I think there was actually a flag thrown, but I have no idea what that would have been in regards to.
I think the near side official didn't like the call, so he called a flag on the back judge, and now Drew Hines going to get called for a personal foul.
That's going to be a sideline. That's going to be on the sideline.
The official pretty emphatic as he explains the call to Coach Nick Griffin, and I'm sure Coach Griffin didn't love the call.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike. Oh no, has he got a sideline thing going? Oh, they got the sideline call too, and then an unsportsmanlike call on top of it.
And they called that on.
Yeah, they pointed to the bench here.
But then they're going to tack on 15 for the unsportsmanlike conduct.
Exactly.
After he had been warned. I bet you he kept jawing, gets a second flag, and in football, that's like a double technical.
So that'll take it out to the 35. And so Eldon has racked up.
Oh, they call a flagrant 2. No, that would be the basketball ruling as Andrew Evans in the truck gives us a line. And yeah, for California, it looked like they were about to surrender this lead, but instead, we're going to call Jackson Hensley the hero so far for California with that forced fumble.
Yeah, we were inches away from an Eldon lead here. Now, you talk about a turnaround. Now, California has it on their own 35. That's a turnaround.
First down. Althoff keeps it and has about 3 on first down.
Eldon staying with a 5 defensive lineman look. They've had some success with it here in the second half. Actually, the big success for Eldon has been the 2 turnovers for the California Pintos after playing a clean first half.
Yeah, no turnovers in that first half. We've had 3 so far in this second half. 2nd down and 7, still tied. First down or second
blow the
down
whistle.
carry.
Oh, that you can't do that. You just can't do that.
And that's a terrible mental breakdown. And Eldon's coaches can be upset all they want, but there's no doubt that's a penalty flag. Whistle had blown. You take 5 full steps, and Cody Brown going to get whistled for that one. And the personal foul is going to give the first down to California.
And apparently they'll go back to the original line of scrimmage to mark it off, so that no loss on the play to speak of.
Yeah.
And another 15 yards. That puts Eldon over 100 yards in penalties.
And that's Drayden DeLong back in the game for Eldon. That's a costly mistake, and it's going to be first down and 10 in Eldon territory. Ball's the 48-yard line. 7:30 left here in this one. Althoff takes the snap, going to give it to Dunaway. Good carry on first down, falls forward, and he has 9. Going to bring up 2nd down and 1, and you see what I mean? These running backs for California are always moving forward.
Always forward. Good gain there by Dunaway, who's comfortably over 100 yards. We'll give you all the stats in the post game. Osage at the end of 3, up 21-0 over Southern Boone County, bouncing back from that loss to Booneville last week.
Camdenton getting handled mightily with 8 minutes left in the third in that one. They trail 42-14.
Ouch. Versailles going to 0-8 tonight too, losing to Colcamp.
First down, a little option, trying to get outside, and he will. Here's Flora inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. A Beck Wellness Center first down after the 10-yard run for Preston Flora, the senior.
Flora, that's his first carry of the second half after getting 10 for 44 in the first half. He's actually, coming into this game, had 20 carries for 27 yards, averaging just a little over 1 yard a carry.
And now the officials call a timeout. So we'll take a commercial break and be back on Lake TV's Game of the Week. And we're back on Lake TV. It's our game of the week at the 6:29 mark of this one. Mike, a game that's had essentially everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything, twists and turns. I don't think you'll ever see a water break in late October, at least past mid-October, very often in Central Missouri.
Here's Dunaway with the carry. Nice gain on first down, trying to get outside. He will. Dunaway inside the 10 to the house for the score. From 28 yards out in California. Back out in front, Max Dunaway, the sophomore, with the score. What a run. It was shut down. He was trying to get the edge. He did. And 28 yards later, he scores.
Yeah, what a great read of the block. And Eldon just kind of assumed that the play was over there, and it wasn't. He did a little jump step to the inside. I think what the deal is, he's got such strong legs. He's 5'4". You're hitting him high, and he's just going on by you.
Yeah, like a ping pong ball. Now we have a whistle, a penalty flag.
Eldon's offside. So they went ahead and let him kick it.
It's dead ball.
I don't know why you would stop that, but.
Well, yeah, at high school, the offsides is automatic. They don't, it's dead ball. They don't let the play go.
Well, if they would listen to me, they could have saved a couple minutes here.
You would have thought. Now they're asking California with the offsides, do you want to move it a yard closer and go for 2? And yes, they will, it looks like. So they're going to be trying a 2-point conversion, and I don't think I like this move.
I don't think taking the point off the board is a good idea.
I
mean, they're running the ball with incredible effectiveness, but still, there's an old adage, do not take it off the scoreboard.
However, if you get this here, that offsides is massive because it then forces you to not only come and score a touchdown, but you'd have to get the 2-pointer to tie as well. Worth noting, both teams have all 3 timeouts still in their pocket. So here's Althoff out of the gun. Going to give it to Dunaway, who's into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good. And California, with 6:13 remaining in this one, leads Eldon by a score of 36-28.
What's like and follow?
Phones are very distracting. Which is why Missouri now has a law against holding a phone while driving.
Dude, what are you doing? You can't hold your phone while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Buckle up.
We welcome you back to Lake TV's Game of the Week. And Mike, the Jackson Hensley forced fumble inside the 1-yard line. Eldon was about to go up a touchdown. Instead, it's California. Their defense bends. They don't break. Huge takeaway. And now the offense drives the length of the field, 65 yards, and gives it gives their team an 8-point lead. Now here's the ensuing kickoff. Here's DeLong on the return. Look out. Drayton DeLong across the 45, taken down at the 48-yard line. It's a big-time return. Looked like a horse collar.
It sure did, the way he went down. And with his ankle issue, now he's starting to swim upstream there to him, and he goes down on the sideline.
Great return, though, by DeLong to give outstanding starting field position here for Eldon. We know they can move it quickly. Mike, still 6 minutes left, and some big touchdowns here for Eldon in this second half. 33-yard touchdown run for Colin Brisbane, 32-yard touchdown pass to Cal Hammond, 42-yard touchdown run for Drew Hines. So we know they can break off big plays, but they find themselves down 8.
First time we've seen this formation tonight.
Hines. Pocket is closing. He tucks it, and he has it up to about the 49. We'll give him 1 yard. Good coverage by California. But, Mike, there was a player for Eldon, number 14, who ran his 10 yards and then just stopped. Just didn't do anything. He wasn't an option for his quarterback. And when the pocket starts to collapse, got to have guys moving back towards the line of scrimmage. And Hines, that's what we talked about, right? Don't force the issue. Down 8 points, just tucks it, gets 1, and lives to see another down.
Especially on first down. That was the first time we'd seen that formation tonight. We've gone away from that inverted wishbone.
In motion is Brisbane. Gets the carry. Tries to find a hole, and he will. Colin Brisbane, good gainer up to about the 41-yard line. We'll give him a 10-yard Beck Wellness Center first down. Inside, 6 minutes to play.
That's where you see that slot man acting as a pulling guard once again. You'll see him come across, and the guard gets out there as well. He didn't get much done, but they kind of ran out there like he was going to, though. Hammond with a good block on the corner.
And to his defense, Colin Brisbane is really fast, Mike.
They ran by him, so I was trying, Coach.
So first down and 10. Ball's the 41-yard line. Hines takes the snap. Read option. Keeps it, and that one's closed. Landon Hayes, the junior, big TFL, drops him for a 1-yard loss. He's as good as advertised. Came in leading this team in tackles. I talked to a couple of people in California, and they said if there is a bright spot so far, our linebacker play has been outstanding at times.
You know, I guarantee you this kid has watched a lot of film. That's the second time tonight that he's busted that play up. He saw something there. He read some sort of key, and he was waiting for it.
Yeah, it was beautifully done by Landon Hayes as we continue to sing his praises. Second down and 11 now. Hines, handoff, trying to get outside. No siree. And once again, this time it's Dunham, the senior. And that was awfully close to a hip drop tackle, Mike.
Yeah.
Not necessarily intentionally.
It's just the way it works out. I mean, the bodies come together at different angles at different times. And that's dangerous, man. Ooh.
So third down and 10, and it's worth noting, tonight Eldon just 2 for 6 on third downs, Mike, and a third down and long is not ideal.
I think this has got to be 4-down territory. We're down to 4 minutes left in this game.
Oh, sure. Cody Brown in motion. Drew Hines back the other way, tries to find his tight end, an errant throw, drops it, but there was great coverage there by Tristan Blakely. Even if he did haul that in, he was going nowhere.
Yeah, this is a tough call for Coach Griffin. He's going to, I think, call a timeout and think about it. Now he's got time on the play clock. They haven't rolled over the play clock yet.
I'd hate to see him burn one of his 3 timeouts, because if you don't get this, you want those 3 timeouts trailing by 8. So fourth down and 10. Huge play here for the Mustangs. Still plenty of time left, even if Eldon doesn't convert, but a huge play.
Got to give him some time to throw. There's going to be some sort of action here.
Brisbane in motion. He's wide open if they can get him the football. He could not. It was great pressure by Dunham, and the pressure applied does not give Hines time to throw, and it's a turnover on downs with 3:49 left. California takes over at the 41-yard line, leading 36-28.
I think it's kind of an interesting See where they're going to spot this. Are they going to spot that as an incomplete pass, or that's not a good spot? Where are they? What is going on here? They weren't that far upfield.
Yeah, Eldon had it at the 41.
Okay.
It was just Hines that got chased out so far to the right side. And so with 3:49 left, California an 8-point lead with the football at the 41-yard line.
Well, then they had to have said that was an incomplete pass then.
Yeah.
It could have easily been called grounding. I don't know.
Yeah, it was awful close to his knee hitting as well. Credit to Hines, he was running for his life. Now the defense has to step up for Eldon. Altoff, wise to hold on to it, and I thought the ball was out on his way down. That's a break for California because as he got swung, the ball was coming down his leg as if he had already lost control. Good play. Dinwiddie with the tackle for a loss, but let's get another look here.
Yeah.
Awful close.
Yeah, that California may be really fortunate there's no review here.
2nd down and 12 after the 2-yard loss. They had to have it. The stop by Keon Dinwiddie, a 1st down.
When do you use the timeouts? Play clock at 1.
Dunaway, 2nd down and 12.
Got to use the timeout here.
He lets the clock continue to run. And I think his fear, Mike, is if you call the timeouts on this series here, if they get 1 first down, puts you in a really tough spot. I don't know if that's you don't trust your defense to get the stop or your strategy varies, but I thought you might because the play clock, 40 seconds, that is a lot of precious time.
It is. And it'll get us down to about, they should snap it with about 2:01, 2:02 left. No, check that, 2:20.
Huge 3rd and 7. Altoff gives it to Turner, and it's a good tackle, taking him down at the line of scrimmage. And now Eldon calls a timeout, and on the stop, big number 68, James Phillips, the senior, 1-yard loss, and brings up 4th down and 8 with 2:19 left. We'll stay right with you here. So California, an obvious punt situation here. Eldon, 2 timeouts when you get the football back, and don't forget the 2-point conversion. That looms very large at this point.
Yeah, have we seen California punt tonight? I don't.
One time.
I can't remember how it went, but this will be a situation where do you think about going after the punter? Be careful if you do. You don't want to rough him.
The only thing that I fear is if you do that, Mike, is, you fear a roughing running into, and 4th down and 7. You give them 5 yards, and they move it up to midfield or close to. You're almost daring them to go for it. And even worse, a roughing 15-yard penalty would end this game. I almost think you set up for the return.
Yeah, Eldon's been really good in the open field. And what I like about rushing, putting some pressure on the punter, maybe you get a slice off to the sideline, but also it's going to hold a lot of the gunners in a little bit tighter as well, too. And that creates more open space for the return man. Who we got back there?
Max Dunaway is the punter for California. Gets it away. It's a really good high kick. Look out. Landing zone in a dangerous spot to the 35-yard line. Just a 21-yard net punt. And Eldon has an opportunity here. Down 8 points with it. 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
How many times have we had a drive start at the 35 tonight? What about 7 or 8? I mean, most have been out, kick out of bounds, or a penalty brought it out to the 35. That time we just had a punt that checked up.
So Eldon 1st and 10 at their own 35. 2 timeouts for Coach Nick Griffin and squad here for Eldon. 2:11 on the clock, 1st down. Looking into the flat, has his man, and a really nice job to go get that to ensure a completed catch. That's Atkinson. We'll give him 7 yards and a good drive starter here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, I like that pass much better than some of the stuff to the sideline they've been trying to complete downfield. You have to be aware of the clock.
Hines takes the snap and rolls to his right. Gonna take a shot, looking downfield, no one home. It was Atkinson, his intended target. But an errant throw brings up 3rd down and 3, 1:39 on the clock.
I like how they're giving him a chance, even off the half roll out there, to stop, set up, and step into the throw, which is a much more effective way to throw the ball. And I don't think it's pointing out the incredibly obvious here to go out and say this is 4 down territory with 1:39 left.
Yeah, no doubt, Mike. And for Eldon, 3rd down and 3, still fine here, but just 1:39 on the clock. Into the flat, looking for Brisbane. Little screen set up, still on his feet. I think he's got close to first down yardage, and wait for it. No, he's going to be stopped shy. He's going to be marked at about the 43-yard line. 4th down and 2 upcoming.
I think just a little too deliberate getting the ball out here. The blockers were downfield, but the ball kind of hung up in there. He just wanted to put it out there.
Are you kidding me? Dunaway, did you see the play?
Yeah.
Can we get another look at that in the truck? We'll stay with you here. That was a first down. I mean, he had the room, but watch Max Dunaway here. Number 4 coming in, right? And then finished off by Dunham.
I think a couple of the blockers for Eldon, they're kind of assumed that they had done their job. I mean, you keep blocking until you hear the whistle, and I think that gave California a chance to reset and get up there and hold him short. So this is pretty much the ball game right here.
Yeah, I was just giving your playmaker an opportunity, and Brisbane normally makes somebody miss, but California's defense has been tough in open field tackling. So 4th down and 2, ball game on the line. Can California close it out? Eldon looking to extend. Hines takes the snap and rolls to his right. Plenty of time. He falls and his knee hits the ground. It's going to be a turnover on downs, and California gets the stop. They're going to give it back to their offense with 1:25 left, leading 36-28.
Wow, what a bad break for Eldon. Just the little toe pick there, it looked like, and lost his balance. You can see it there, right there. He just, that's a hockey term actually, where they hit the front of the skate on the ice and go to a knee. Nice. Wow.
Credit to California's defense, though. They got pressure.
Are you a little surprised they were looking to throw the ball there? They've been running it so effectively.
Yeah, 4th down and 2, you have to extend the game. And California, they're telling their fans, let's hear you. We are just 85 seconds away from doing the unthinkable.
And they're going victory formation here right now. You got to go tackling, man.
And Eldon, just 1 timeout left. And smart for California. You don't want to take any unnecessary chances, right?
No.
And so barring something incredibly wild happening, California comes into Eldon and upsets the Mustangs. They're going to get their first victory of the season. And as for Eldon, the losing streak continues. This is their 5th consecutive loss. They'll fall to 3-5, and now in jeopardy of looking at a road game in Week 10 in the opening round of the district playoffs.
And they'll take the play clock all the way down. And if he can kill some time right here, they won't even have to run another play.
Well, Mike, I'll let you finish this.
Okay.
Of course, not a lot of excitement. We'll be back in a little bit after Mike finishes it off with our Van Subaru post-game show. We'll take a...
Now, Eldon got a timeout here, so we're not quite done yet. They did call their 3rd timeout.
Yeah, smart. They had 1 left, and California, though, still going to be able to take 1 knee on 3rd down and in this game.
Yeah, it's just really just going to be 1 more. The only bad thing about it is it's really hurting Altoff's numbers a little bit, but he'll take the win over the individual glories. California got off to such a good start in this game, just dominating on that first possession. Eldon runs a long run for DeLong that got him in the end zone, but then California just owned that. I didn't say own it, but they really dominated with their running game there in the first half. But then Eldon took over in the 3rd. A couple of turnovers by California, but that play at the goal line where Eldon was about to score. And then here's the center snap, and all he has to do is go to a knee. I hate doing that to his rushing totals for the night, but we'll keep everything on the up and up, and there's nothing Eldon can do. So the California Pintos get their first win. They are 1-7, 1-4 in conference play. And for the Eldon Mustangs, they go to 3-5 and 0-5 in the Tri-County Conference as the play clock and the game clock wind down here, and they do not have to run another play. I think I've got another score here that I want to pass along. I just need to check this real quick. 36-28 is going to be our final score. You can hear the California fans, they're happy. The final Osage wins over Southern Boone by a score of 21-0, and that's going to wrap up the 1 seed for the School of the Osage Indians. They have St. Francis Borgia next Friday night, and that is our broadcast game here on Lake TV. Osage gets the win 21-0 at Southern Boone. And California, I guess you have to call this an upset, 36-28. Well, they sure don't look like a 1-7 team here. They look good tonight, and they executed when they had to, and they get the win. Come back with our post-game show in just a moment, right here on Lake TV.
It's time for a new home, and your solution is Ozark Homes under the Water Tower in Laurie. Your home is and should be your safe place. At Ozark Homes, we take your dream and make it a reality while staying within your budget. With real estate and construction prices at an all-time high, let Ozark Homes stretch your dollar. We have many customizable options, including kitchens, bathrooms, fireplaces. We even offer a second-level option. Quotes are always free, so give us a call or stop by today. Ozark Homes, making homeowners' dreams a reality for over 30 years.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic and 2 pediatricians with same-day appointments available. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone with 5 primary care locations conveniently located across the Ozarks. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Competing on the field requires hard work. It also requires effort and making good choices, which carries over off the field. Like good choices behind the wheel of your car. Did you know that a driver is 20 times more likely to be in a serious accident if texting and driving? Last year alone, 104 people were killed in Missouri from distracted driving. So keep leading the statistics. Don't become one. Buckle up, phones down. This Drive Safe, Boat Safe reminder brought to you by Price & Randall Injury Attorneys.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're starting our mega sale this week, and we've got great deals in the mattress area. Tempur-Pedics, Purple, Stearns & Foster, all on sale. You need to come get a great night's sleep and check out the wonderful deals at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Tailgate season is here. Get ready for the fun at Husker GMC. We have the best prices on Sierra trucks, perfect for every adventure. Right now, buy a new Sierra 1500 Elevation and save over $9,000 off MSRP. There's a reason why so many customers choose Husker GMC. Shop and save on Sierra 1500, 2500, and 3500 at your GMC truck headquarters. Shop now at huskergmc.com or visit our showroom in Lincoln. We are professional grade.
Back here on our Van Subaru post-game show, I've got California head coach Kenny Grubb. Coach, how would you explain that game to us?
Well, you heard us in the huddle. It was kind of like our season, messy at times and just messy. But I told our guys, we just fight and fight and fight and fight. And I just told them, thank you for fighting always and getting better every day.
You said in our pregame interview, what puts a lot of pressure on me at times is how hard these boys are playing. We should get a win for them. What does tonight's win mean to this program?
It's pretty big. They deserve it. They deserve it every week, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But when you play so hard and you believe and you give and you trust the process and you do all those things that we've talked about for 3 years, and all of a sudden you're not winning and it's bad and it's bad and it's bad, and then you find a win, man, it's pretty sweet.
I got to ask you, you got a couple of special guys over here we're going to highlight, but one play, Eldon had tied it and was about to take the lead. Hensley comes in and forces a fumble inside the 1 yard line. Talk about the shift that had on this game.
How big is that? I'm over here trying to signal touchback and signaling safety, and my defensive coordinator is looking at me like, Coach, you're an idiot. It's not a safety. And I was like, I know it's a touchback. But that is a huge, huge play. And he came over and he goes, Coach, I couldn't tackle him, so I just punched. And, I mean, that's a heady football play by a great football player. And it just turned everything, because all of a sudden we drove a little bit, we got a punt, time's running down, all those things are huge.
I know this means a lot to you. It means a lot to California. I know Mom and Dad watching at home. But overall, to win this game here in Eldon, and not just get the W, but to win a close game, right? To have so much adversity throughout the game. Talk about how that kind of instills for you guys moving forward. What does that mean to you guys when you guys look at this game?
Well, I mean, I think we look at finding a way. We just found a way. You know, it's funny because I'm telling players, look, just relax. We're gonna find our way. We're gonna find our way. And then I've got players coming to me and going, Coach, hey, remember now, even if they score, we're up by 2. We get a stop on a 2-point conversion. I got players going, Coach, this is the time that's left on the clock behind you. I got coaches in my ear saying the same thing. And it's a group effort. It is really a group effort. I got coaches on the sideline talking me through time management and things like that, because you get so wrapped up in the moment. You get so wrapped up in, hey, we got to get this done. We got to find a way, all of those things. And then, you know, you're yelling 2 different things at them, and they pick one and go with it and just go. And it's usually the second one, which is the one I usually want. So, but they kept their composure. That means a ton, because if we're going to move forward, we're going to have to keep our composure.
All right, I got to ask you a couple of special players here that we're going to highlight as our Save Mo Lives players of the game. But talk about those 2, Coach.
I'm going to tell you, Ben Altoff started out as a wide receiver for us. He split time as a quarterback with Colby Less, who stepped in as a freshman and started and did a great job last year. And Colby, all winter in the weight room during my class, I'd look up and he would be going through his steps to run the option. And he'd be talking to me about reads. And he has worked really, really hard to put himself in this position. And then Max is a sophomore, and thank goodness we get him for 2 more years, because I'm going to tell you what, he is a load to tackle, and he is going to be a great linebacker. He stepped in a week ago for Seth Oliver, another sophomore who was playing our Mike linebacker and hurt his shoulder, and Max had to step in, and he played really, really well tonight. Those 2 guys embody what we want out of our football program. They really do.
Well, Coach, I want to congratulate you. Big-time win, and congrats on the first win, man. Awesome. We're glad to be here. Now it's time to bring on our players of the game. The senior first, Ben Altoff, started at quarterback tonight, 150 yards, 3 touchdowns. Talk about how much this means to you guys.
Oh, this is great for us. We really needed this. You know, it's been a rough season. It definitely has, but this is a turning point. This is a turning point for sure. We're going to win the next 2, and then we're going to win the next 3. We're just going to keep going. It's fuel.
Pretty awesome. You guys came into this game. I know you're aware, only 20 points this season. You dropped 36 on the road at Eldon. How'd you guys bust out offensively?
Wow. Well, I think the game plan was great this week. We executed very well, executed a lot better than we have been for sure, and it showed on the scoreboard this week.
Hey, man, I want to congratulate you on the W. Big-time game. Ben Altoff, one of our 2 Save Mo Lives player of the game. Now it's time to get Max Dunaway over. Listen, they list him at 5'4", 175, but this guy was not going down. Incredible game tonight, Max. Talk about what that win means to you.
It means a lot, you know. First win of the season, really. We all came together as a team, and we really just fought our hearts out like never before. It felt amazing.
I got to ask you, just because every time a guy goes to tackle, your legs keep moving, how much do you squat?
I squat around like 375, I think.
Yeah, incredible stuff. And talk about your offensive line, man. From the onset of this game, there were big holes up front, and you were taking advantage of that. Touch on them.
Yeah, I love them all to death. I love them. They work hard for me, and I try and work hard back for them. You know, I always love to give them recognition. Love them to death.
I can tell that you guys also love your head coach, Kenny Grubb. So talk about how much this means to get this win for him.
I think it means more than the world to him. We've all been fighting every game, and this game just we all came together as a team and really said, we're going to stick this thing out, we're going to win this thing, and yeah.
Max Dunaway, was a pleasure to watch you tonight. Congratulations on the win and being one of our 2 Save Mo Lives players of the game. Remember, 4 simple steps will help save lives. Slow down, buckle up, put your phones down, and drive sober. As we conclude on the field, we're going to throw it back up to the booth with Mike Bissell.
All right. What a great series of interviews, and a little bit starstruck there for Mr. Dunaway. But, it's kind of odd having a camera and a microphone stuck in your face for the first time. He held his own there, but it's also good to see a coach that is happy as Coach Grubb getting that first win of the year. Let's take a look at the stats. What a crazy game. First of all, for Mr. Dunaway, who just finished up there a second ago, 18 carries, 140 yards, had the 29-yard touchdown run there in the second half. Flora only got 1 carry in the second half after 10 in the first, 11 for 54. Turner got some work there in the second half and was successful, 7 for 36 total in the game. And I hated to do this to Althoff, but I had to give him 3 losses. Kind of hurt his numbers. Actually kept him from being over 100 yards rushing. Had that 56-yard touchdown run to start the second half. But again, those kneel downs, and they did it like 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He ended up 20 carries for 89 yards on the night. But I'm sure he'll take the win as opposed to not getting to 100 yards rushing. The passing stats, that's all in the first half. 1 for 3. The catches went to Althoff, 1 for 5, and Hensley, 1 for 4. So 9 yards through the air for California, 319 rushing on 56 attempts. They did have the 2 fumbles in the second half of play, and only 1 penalty on the game. 1 penalty in the game. That's not the case for Eldon, as it turns out. So 319 and 9 is 328 total from scrimmage for the California Pintos. Now 1-7 and 1-4 in conference play. For the Eldon Mustangs, who are 3-5 and 1-4 also in the conference. Hines started off the second half with a 44-yard run. They had some other good runs as well, too. He ended up with 13 carries for 101 yards. Berenson, 4 for 45. All of that coming in the second half. Hammond had 3 for 33. Again, all in the second half as they were making up for the loss of DeYoung. Excuse me, almost said DeYoung for some reason. He had the 1 carry for 62 yards. That was the first play from scrimmage for the Eldon Mustangs, and he didn't get another touch. He did actually came in and returned a kick and did very well with it, but just couldn't continue to go. Brisbane on the night, 7 for 51. Eldon racked up 292 yards rushing on only 28 carries, and they had the 1 fumble, and it was probably the key play of the ball game. The ball getting punched out as the runner was inside the 1-yard line. The ball goes out of the back of the end zone. That's a touchback. It goes to California at their own 20. Then there was a penalty on top of it. I think brought it out to the 35. The passing stats, they ended up 6 for 15 on the night. Brown, 2 catches for 35. Hammond, 1 for 32. It was a touchdown. Atkinson, 1 for 7. And Brisbane, 2 for 12 on the night. 292 on the ground for the Eldon Mustangs. 86 through the air, 378. Here's the big difference. They had the 1 turnover. 13 penalties, 113 yards for the Eldon Mustangs. We'll take a break and come back and wrap up in just a moment. Final score once again, 36-28, California over Eldon. This is Lake TV Sports.
So what are you in for? I had a few beers and I decided to drive. You? I stopped at a green light. I was high.
Dude, you can't be drunk or high while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Even just slightly buzzer high decreases your reaction time by at least 50%. What? It does.
Well, what did you guys do?
Us, we robbed the house.
Be a good guy. Don't drive drunk or high.
Tailgate season is here. Get ready for the fun at Husker GMC. We have the best prices on Sierra trucks, perfect for every adventure. Right now, buy a new Sierra 1500 Elevation and save over $9,000 off MSRP. There's a reason why so many customers choose Husker GMC. Shop and save on Sierra 1500, 2500, and 3500 at your GMC truck headquarters. Shop now at huskergmc.com or visit our showroom in Lincoln. We are professional grade.
Well, as we get ready to wrap up from Victor Field in Eldon, Missouri on our Van Subaru post-game show, quite the thrilling game. Of course, if you're an Eldon fan, may not have loved the outcome, but that game had about everything. And if you look ahead, I'm sure you alluded to it, but California goes back home to end the season against Hallsville. Eldon will have Boonville riding that 5-game losing streak. And I know this one really hurts for Eldon, but that's the way it works when you play conference games. And California, a good night to be a Pinto. As we conclude our Van Subaru postgame show, big shout out to our crew, especially Devin Humiston on the field, filling in on the field camera tonight. Andrew Evans in the truck that we can hear right now. Of course, Sierra Smith, David Leatherberry. We had Carson Reisner, the whole crew here on Lake TV, bringing you the game of the week. It ends with California out in front, 36-28. Next week, we'll be back at School of the Osage for the regular season finale with St. Francis Borgia. Should be a good one.
The Knights, they've got a really good record, and as it turns out, with Osage getting the win here tonight, or win up there at Southern Boone tonight in Ashland, the game really doesn't mean anything to Osage. There's no way they can fall out of that top spot and get the first round bye. So he can be, maybe play starters the first quarter and then, get some kids in there too, because it's not going to change anything.
Sure. So as we conclude, can't forget Spencer Wall, also in the truck, part of our Lake TV crew. Until next week, where we'll be at School of the Osage. Thanks for watching. Good night and God bless.